take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
It's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive and save it.
What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab it then take it.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Out of This World News. I'm your host, Patrick, aka OTW, and we are back. What's up? It's fucking Tuesday. All right. Now, that's what I call an intro. Yeah. What's up? Whew. All right, let's drop the link. All right, so let me see. Chat. Say, hey, Patrick. Good day. Lovely soul. Salute. Weirdos. DMT saved my life. Chopping it out. The time-space continuum must be his double dark copy. Well, it used to be Adidas. Oh, yeah. Right, with two Ds. Well, no, I don't think it was. I don't remember, actually. And I'm wondering why it's like, what the fuck's going on with the internet here? I don't know, let's just like stop this. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, I might have like a lot of things going on here. Should be good. All right, so drop the link. Anybody wants to join the show? It is presently 12:29 p.m. here Eastern Time, Montreal, Canada. Yeah. Coming at ya. From the belly of the beast. Yeah, it's coming out. It's all coming out. 15 people watching, man. Make sure to hit that like button. Share this out. What's up, y'all? Okay, let's shout out to the chat. We got Yeti Life's in the house. Danny Skylark and Ixtos is in the house. Hey, welcome to the show. Lori Chavez, Mr. E, and the Pixel T, a.k.a. Yolanda. Mark Basket's in the house. What's up? We got Yeti Life, I said already. And Spear Taco 24. All right. What's up? What's up? Took the day off yesterday. I mean, off of YouTube. I had a lot of shit to do. Cut some grass, you know. You guys have any idea how long it takes to cut the grass here? Whew, it's crazy. Can we talk about me for a bit? Or yogurt. Okay. Well, Benton, you can always click the link. I just dropped it. You want to come and talk about you? I guess that's up to you. But I do see you alive. You are alive. Yeah, you are alive. Absolutely alive. Yep. I see that you are alive. So thank you for the hello. Is that actually Benton or is like, I don't know. Now I'm all totally confused. Like these people using the same avatars. Now I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, well, something like that. Whatever. I don't know. Is it really Benton? This could be a soccer account. I don't know. Maybe not. Because he's live on his channel. He's talking right now. So I don't know. Yeah, see? He can't be talking in chat right now while he's spurging on his own channel. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Of course, I'm Benton. Don't mind me live streaming. Right. Hey, what's up, Rodney Kinley? Fuck. I don't get it. I'm all mixed up now. All right. A damn fine sock. I guess I could say so myself. Could have fooled me. Actually, pretty much did fool me. A stinky sock at that. Pooh. Pooch. All right. Well, I guess that means it's time to roll one. Because yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what's been going on over the weekend, guys. I haven't had any chances to check out anybody's stream. The freaking thing is in my way. Yeah, like no Jack, no Paul, nobody at all. So I just like fuck, what are we gonna talk about? I don't know. Somebody's gonna certainly show up and go like, the fucking this is going on. I don't know. I showed up over at OU812 on Sunday to play the community jam right over there. And what else did I do? Pretty much that was pretty it for internet stuff. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. That's all I did. Oh yeah, and I fixed up like the lighting here. I did some arrangements. How can I do this? Oh yeah, look, see, I can actually take the camera. I set up some guitars over there. I got 2 guitars over there. And I got 2 more right down there. Right? And what else? What else did I do? Oh yeah, I just set up like the new lightings. So it's got a neon light over there, right here. Put up some drapes so we don't, have any unnecessary lighting except for that coming in. And so then the green screen really does, and even when I close up to the camera, because when I used to close up to the camera, it would have like this white shit showing up here and like we wouldn't see it correctly. So but now it's all like, I guess that because I used to have the light just right up here, which was a lot closer, and I guess it was too much lighting. So now I just backed it up about 4 to 5 feet. Man, what a difference. Crazy. Yeah, so I've been doing a little work in the studio section. Even, I even installed some tablets over there. Look at that. See? Got my drill still there. The console. I changed the console from where it was in the corner so I could have more access to it directly. Here's the little tablet thing. So shit's happening. Look at that. Printer's all dusty. Got screws on it. And what else what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I think I got Google working again, right? So let's actually say, hey, Google, good morning.
Hi there. Right now in Saint Etienne de Beauharnois, it's 24 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy with a forecasted high of 26 and a low of 18. Here's a joke to start your morning. Here's a classic. What do you call a train made of chewing gum? A choo-choo train. No tasks for today. Heads up, here's a reminder to charge your LG phone. Your battery's at 43%. Have a good one.
Well,
here's
thank
the
you very
latest
much.
news. From CBC News at 4:17 p.m. on May 21, 2024.
From CBC News, it's The World This Hour. I'm Joe Cummings. Serial killer Robert Pickton is in hospital after being attacked in prison. Radio Canada confirms Pickton was attacked in a common area of the maximum security Port Cartier institution where he's an inmate. And Quebec provincial police are saying his injuries are considered life-threatening. Pickton is serving a life sentence for the murder of 6 women. In the early 2000s, the remains or the DNA of 33 women were found on Pickton's farm outside Vancouver. Canada's inflation rate continues to fall. Statistics Canada today saying the national rate dipped to 2.7% last month. That's down from 2.9% in March. This adds fuel to the speculation that the Bank of Canada is considering an interest rate cut, possibly as early as next month. Meanwhile, as the Trudeau government pushes forward with its campaign to make groceries more affordable, the NDP is pushing ahead with its own proposal. It's a call for an excess profits tax for big grocery retailers. Janice McGregor has more.
In a letter to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and opposition leader Pierre Poilievre, Jagmeet Singh pointed out that the grocery sector made about $6 billion in profit last year. Because both the Liberals and the Conservatives have failed to take this on, Singh said, consumers are now taking things into their own hands, with some boycotting Loblaw stores, for example. Today, New Democrats are going to return to their pitch for an excess profits tax, something the Liberal government put on big banks, but opted not to do for grocery giants in the last budget. New Democrats say that they're going to force a debate in the full House of Commons on this idea. New Democrats believe it's a way to pressure retailers to cut prices, but it also risks doing the opposite. Big chains could simply pass on a new tax to consumers with even higher prices. Janice McGregor, CBC News, Ottawa.
The wildfire on the outskirts of Fort McMurray, Alberta, is no longer considered out of control. Emergency officials declared overnight that the fire south of the city is being held. They say recent rainfall has allowed crews to make significant progress in containing the blaze. More than 6,000 people were forced to flee their homes last week. However, they were cleared to return over the weekend. The Donald Trump hush money trial is a step closer now to coming to a close.
God.
Trump's lawyers have rested their defense of the former president. The jurors have been sent home until next Tuesday when closing arguments are scheduled. This is the first of 4 criminal cases against Trump, but it's the only one being carried out prior to the November election. Singapore Airlines is confirming that 1 person is dead and 30 others are injured after one of its passenger planes encountered severe turbulence in mid-flight. The plane was on its way from London to Singapore, but was forced to make an emergency stop in Bangkok. Julia Chapman has more.
The Boeing jet took off from London on Monday night for what should have been a 13-hour flight. But 11 hours in, as it approached Thailand's airspace, it hit turbulence. One passenger described a dramatic drop, throwing those who weren't wearing seatbelts into the air. Some of them hit their heads on the overhead cabin. Aviation expert John Strickland says severe turbulence can be hard to anticipate.
Although crews prepare their meteorological projections before the flight, they have weather radar on board. Clear air turbulence cannot always be predicted. Sometimes it can rely on aircraft ahead reporting that they've encountered turbulence.
Research suggests turbulence is becoming more frequent as global temperatures rise. Julia Chapman for CBC News, London.
Now to Tehran and the funeral procession for Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi. Raisi was killed over the weekend in a helicopter crash. Foreign analysts have for years now viewed the president as a prime candidate to succeed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the country's 85-year-old supreme leader. And that is the world this hour. For CBC News, I'm Joe Cummings.
Joe Cummings.
From CNBC Tech Check at 5:48 p.m. on May 20th, 2024.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
I'm Julia Borston, and this is your CNBC Tech Check briefing. Elon Musk has launched SpaceX's Starlink internet services in Indonesia as the Southeast Asian country looks to increase its connectivity in remote areas. Musk saying in an interview, quote, "It is really important to emphasize the importance of internet connectivity and how much of a life changer and a lifesaver it can be." He also said it's very likely his other companies will invest in Indonesia. Starlink has already been available in Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia and the Philippines. Shares of Hims and Hers Health are soaring today after the digital pharmacy announced GLP-1 weight loss injections. The company, which offers direct-to-consumer treatments, launched a weight loss program in December, but did not previously offer the GLP-1 treatments. The company's oral medications will cost $79 per month, with injections starting at $199 per month. Apple is reportedly working on a second-generation AirTag product that could be delivered in 2025. The new AirTag could feature an updated chip with better location tracking, according to a Bloomberg report. Apple first rolled out the AirTag back in April of 2021, so it could be announced around the same time next year, according to the report. Bloomberg also notes Apple is currently doing manufacturing tests with its Asian partners for the product, codenamed B589. That's all for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business. With the advanced connectivity and intelligence of global secure networking, we're helping businesses of all sizes transform, grow, and thrive. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
From DW News Brief
There's
at
more?
1 p.m. on May 21st, 2024.
Usually after Tech Check, it's over.
This is DW News, and these are our top stories. Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock is in Kyiv for an unannounced visit. She called for more international support to protect against Russian airstrikes. Her visit was a display of solidarity and included a trip to a damaged power plant with Ukraine's energy minister. The trial is beginning in Frankfurt, Germany, of a group of suspected coup plotters, the so-called Reichsbürger, meaning citizens of the empire. The group is steeped in far-right ideology. Members were arrested in 2022 during nationwide raids. Their plot included imposing harsh military law over Germany after a coup. Iran is holding funeral services for President Ibrahim Raisi. Tens of thousands took to the streets of the city of Tabriz to mark Raisi's passing. He was killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday in nearby mountains, along with several other officials. You're watching DW News from Berlin. You'll find much more on our website, dw.com.
Oh, well. I won't be heading there anytime soon. Nope, nope, nope. I don't get this like music thing, man. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, all right, we got Schnafu Schnaps backstage. All right, I'm just gonna heat this up and this up. There we go. Just want to mute those up because they have like this terrible. Oh my goodness, what? I'm teaming up with Marfugel News, dangerously odd optics. Okay, hold on a sec. Yes, Mr.
You're laughing
Schnafu.
right now, OTW. I'm giving you this one-time chance. This one-time chance. You better start
Stop him.
me.
Stop him. OTW, why are you feeding back? Oh, that's me. I'm an idiot. All right, I'm an idiot. Snafu Snaps, I got to stop you. Greetings, OTW. Snafu Snaps, are you going to comment on those fucking optics or not? With me
Which
and
ones?
Brian.
The ones that were striking OTW right now? I'm giving him an ultimatum. He got to treat me like you. He got to suck my balls like he does you. If he doesn't start treating me like he does you, the crew is...
Fuck you. I'm stopping you because you got nothing but negative shit to say. And how fucking dare you not comment on Brian from High Impact Flix's optics this morning, posting a specific clip of me with Chile de Castro. What happened?
I saw it. I saw it. I was going to bring it up on your show.
Okay.
I was going to bring it up on your show. Really?
Bro. Put the damn headphones on. We can hear me through your fucking...
I know, but I got to give OTW this news. If he doesn't start treating me like he treats daddy, he's going to have issues. So you're gonna learn respect, OTW. So you better start treating me and sucking my balls like you do daddy.
Get the headset.
Snaps, yeah, get the headset. And
you're working with Marfugel News, OTW.
Honestly,
now we're on to you.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
Now that he acknowledged my positive optics, we're on to your optics.
I go for 3 days to come back, and it's even more insane than it was before I left.
Well, what's the deal? You gonna unblock me and you gonna start treating me like daddy, or are you gonna do it with the strike team? You got a choice here, OTW.
Yeah, you're blocked.
You got a choice.
Fucking guy.
It's not even the blocking. You got to start respecting me like daddy. I'm not taking it from your Canadian ass anymore.
Get the headset, bro. You're feeding
I still don't get why you're all fucked up and pissed off because
King Ding-a-ling.
You just
He thought it was cute.
Oh,
He
yeah,
thought it was
King
cute to
Steven.
play games with me with King Ding-a-ling. I
No,
came here
actually,
to
I
warn
just
you about
wanted-
it. Next thing you know, what's he do? You let him.
right now, actually, I remember now. I remember because we were actually trying to have a conversation. I was actually getting to learn because the first time he ever came up on panel, so I wanted to let him speak. But you always show up and you start fucking derailing everything and throwing everything out the window, and I never actually get the chance to hear fucking somebody say whatever they have to say. And that's pretty much the only reason, man. It wasn't against you or wanted to fucking that free speech bullshit and all that. It was just you, man. You just like came in at the wrong time. You could have like came in like at least maybe 5 or 10 minutes later after I had a conversation with the guy. Then I would have let you do your rap. You're not patient, man. You're just too fucking impatient.
Shaking because I have broad shoulders.
Then you went off on your pedo pogo fucking thing all over OTW again for no reason because ended up it just turned sour with the Steven guy anyway, right?
And why does he not have the headset? Like, why did I just tell him 10 times to get the headset and he's not headsetting?
Well, because he's a rebel. He's gonna like not get the headset just to do it on purpose, not to listen to what we tell him. Just because
you're wrong. You're making narratives up. You're full of shit. This is what Canadians do, Daddy. You got to watch your foreign fucking kids.
See? It's like we're on the moon.
You're fucking full of shit. As soon as he came up here, what did he do? He did a whole video about your stream and you. Snaps. But hey, since you brought up Castro, hey, since you did bring up Brian from High Impacts, we might as well talk about that, right?
Say what?
Yeah, Snafu Snaps is pulling a moon landing / flight control deck. You got Snafu Snaps with a short approach out of the west, wind 7 miles an hour. Go ahead, Snaps. Take her on in.
Well, I find it funny he couldn't put your interaction on YouTube, but he posted you and Castro together on YouTube.
Right, because optics, bro. We turn the fucking heat up over here. I told him in private. Dude, you keep trying to tell me how to work as if Daddy don't know how to work. I know what I'm doing. I'm long gaming. Just take a step back. Let Daddy do what he does. You'll be pleased.
And I had to also say to you the same thing, Snafu. You know, when I have like new people that come up, man, even though you have a grudge against that particular, I don't know this, like your story.
Right, you don't know they're criminals, traitors, frauds, or linked to pedophiles.
I have your fucking. Will you shut up a minute? Shut up! I said a minute. You have.
You're such a great news researcher.
You come up
You're
here.
You're such a great.
Have your fucking bit.
News. OTW is fake news. And he's okay to cupcake with pedophiles, traitors, criminals, and frauds.
Slave.
You know, it's funny. He says that because this is where he's like one of the only places he gets to report any fucking news. So he's calling OTW news fake news, but he's the one. He's the reporter.
Well, that's the thing, right? He will go anywhere with more than 5 live viewers, just like the rest of them, because then he gets to report his fake news there instead of your fake news.
Oh God! Sometimes you fucking kill me, Snaps.
One small step. Hold on, let me do my moon landing. Come on, unmute so I can moon land. Oh, now he's gonna mute up. See how he is? It's oppositional, man.
Doesn't want to play. You're terrible, Snaps. You're so oppositional. It's crazy. Yeah, I'll just have to agree with Paul.
What is this goofy bitch talking about? I'm creaming up the ladies. What is she saying? These women want nothing to do with me. I can assure you. The majority of them want nothing to do with me. Quite frankly, I want nothing to do with them.
Oh, Jesus. God help us all. All right. So now what's the actual news, Snaps? To be honest, what's going on?
That you cupcake with pogo, pedos, criminals, traitors, and frauds on your fake news channel? And the strike team is go strike team go on you right now?
I'm sorry, man. That was good. No, but besides OTW news, do you have anything else?
You gotta pull up. I forget if it was Edison or Marconi. I forget if it was the first phonograph tape or the first phone call they recorded. It sounds just like Snafu Snaps his microphone. Watson, are you there, Watson?
Alexander, do you hear me?
Yeah, that was it. You got to pull that one up. This is a classic moment in history.
Hold on a sec. There we go.
OTW, wait till you see this fucking location we're going to have. These people are going to hate on me so fucking hard. Once I set Jennifer up over there, debt free, with the best place she's ever been, and I invest over there. Yeah, I got like shares. I'm like Donald Trump of like the off-grid community. I got like 2 to 3 shares of corporations at this point. I got like three places that I just go, share space. It's like timeshare. So I'm buying in like 20% on Jennifer's property and a few other places. I'm just going to jet set like Trump from 3 to 5 different properties throughout the year and broadcast and just piss everyone off. Where's this Moose creature, man? What's been up with Moose lately? Like, what's his deal? Is he coming back home or what? It seems like he's come back home. That's it. That's snap for snap. It's Snafu Graham Bell, the first audio recording. Watson, is that you? Snafu?
Houston, we have a problem. Houston to Snafu. You copy?
We got a 311, large rotund black male.
Roger that, 10-4. Oh, damn it. He closes.
Yeah, I didn't even get to elaborate on what a 311 was. It's not. It's different from a 211.
Hey, can you text Brian and see if he'll come talk to Daddy again today?
We're gonna report criminal failure. What's that?
You should text Brian and say, come back to Slavey and let's talk some more. And let's do an open panel with Brian from High Impact today.
Officers on the scene. What's that? Let's see how long I can do this. He's pretty stupid. I think I can do it at least 3 or 4 more times. Where's this Whoosh kid, man? This kid follows me around for over 1.5 years. I got like 10 of you that you better hope that I never.
We got a 1214 on Broadway.
Your reports were large, homeless, brown man. Looks like the Taliban. Extreme loser failure. Be advised, man is known to be extremely losing and failing. He's known to be unarmed but dangerous.
All units.
With the face.
Damn it.
He loves using my face.
Damn it. All right, so I had something in mind just 2 moments ago now. Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, you want some real news, OTW?
Yeah, let's hear about what's going on in the community, Warthog. Is that the wow? The greatest. The silence has to be the best news ever. It's like,
you're a regular Walter Cronkite.
Hey, look, hey, no news is good news, man. That's like there you go.
That's what that is.
That's it. That's he's giving. For once, Snafu's actually bringing us some good news. All right, so what are we gonna do? Links in chat. Moose is in chat. Oh my god. I gotta find headphones. Yes, find some headphones and then send them to
There you
Snafu.
go. There's some receipts on these pogo fucks. Brian's pals, by the way. Brian knowing pals.
Oh god, 1.5 hours?
Here we go.
Oh God. You know what? You could spend an hour and a half reviewing Tommy or Flo or your non-news fucktard.
Here we go. The competition.
Go ahead then. Go ahead.
I don't
As
go on
Goblin
those
the Drunk
panels.
says. Go ahead.
I don't waste my time on those panels. Slow thinking them.
You know, today or tomorrow, we're actually going to be starting a strike team channel where we go live when we others go live. That we're going to start striking. So we actually are going to start the strike team channel very soon here.
Okay, I thought. Okay, the channel. Okay, I thought the strike team is still active, right?
Fuck yeah, we've been striking.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Cotsplaining. So, is Jack still in his house? It's like, has he done any broadcasts? Did he go live yesterday? See, I have all kinds of
Yeah, I
questions.
believe he did.
Okay, so he's still in
I mean,
that
that's
house.
the one thing Jack has to bring to this platform is if he can somehow figure out how to not pay rent and stay in a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house and call himself Jesus, I can't compete with that. I'm just going to tell you right now. I don't have anything to compete with that. I didn't think that was possible. I mean, if he
You
can show
created
us something
that
here-
shit, though. Let's be real. You created the fucking monster Talcadia.
I didn't know. I did, and I didn't know the depths of it. Right? I didn't really do. I started to take what I do here more seriously in certain ways after the Talcott incident.
Oh,
I started to realize the level of like, because I've always, after a certain point, lived by the one self thing, but like, it was a blind spot. I didn't do the in-depth analysis with him. I didn't ask enough questions. I didn't sit with him for long enough.
The butterfly effect right off the bat, man. You just like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
you could have met
you know what it is? I had no God, snafu. I had no idea that it could be anything of what it was. Like I didn't, because like I go, I've met people in my life who like killed people, allegedly, have killed people, done it all. And I've never met anyone quite as diabolical or insane as Jack Talcott. Like, and it's you don't see it till you see it, and then it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, but you know what it was? It was like those when they warn tourists when they go to other countries. They say don't give the children, the street kids, no money or candy because then they'll run in the alleys, and next thing you know, 20 of them motherfuckers are there to rob you and fucking lynch mob you. So Daddy gave them a little candy, and fucking look what happened.
But the thing is, bro, like even again on the street, the lowest level of consciousness, oftentimes you kind of know what you're getting. But this like angel of this angel of false light, it's really good at masquerading with that false love and light. Like it doesn't come with the hat and the bandana, or the shirt and dress and the way of walking and talking. It comes in the exact way that you would expect right out of Hollywood, right? To really get a hold of you. And that's what's so great about it. Like even me, with what's rubbed off on me, when people meet me, they go, this guy's an ex-con grifter lowlife. We're not listening to him. He talks fast and says motherfucker and smokes weed. Jack Talcott, you wheel him in and they're like, this man's amazing. He's such a loving, caring, honest man. And I go, no, it's actually not.
Hey, there you go. I just put the other video in your backstage. A different one.
All right.
Receipts all day long.
Can
Go
you
to
get the headset, bro? Can you fix your mic so that when
I'm broke. I don't make money like you two.
Dude, I gave you. You're another one like O'Shea. I gave you $40 or $80 so far.
Yeah, when people say they're broke, they use it for gas or food. Headsets like
there
the
you
last.
go. You guys all say that you have whatever you need sometimes, and say that we're all lying. And then the next day, when you get something, instead of getting equipment with it to do more broadcasting, you need gas and food. So just say that I don't have gas and food. I'm not doing well. You guys don't act like you're doing okay in life. And then you come on here and go, everyone's grifting and you're just poor. It's like, not everyone's grifting. You're just poor and need help. So say something. We'll do a benefit for you. Do some kind of, like, if we can grift for DeCastro, right, and get him lawyers to waste money, We can fucking do activism fun for Snafu Snaps. He's dying for what he believes in.
Shock Snafu for a new headphones.
Shock Snafu for new headphones. I don't know if I can do that. In light of me having it revealed that he's like in bed every other couple weeks with some kind of immune disorder, I can't have that on my conscience. Dog collar shocking him. Like, what if he goes in the hospital the next? What if it kicks his immune system off? And then like he's in the hospital the next day, and then like he just dies and we don't hear back from him. Now I gotta have that on my head. I can't do that in good conscience. I can only shock people who are like in totally good health. You get clear bill of health.
Complete opposite effect, and he could like kickstart his immune system, and boom, he turns into.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. You see, could have an opposite, an opposite and equal reaction to what you're saying here. Isn't that Murphy's Law?
All right. I didn't think of that. Snafu, do you think your immune system got better last time we dog collar shocked you? You think it like jump started it a little bit?
Dude, I shocked the shit out of myself so bad that I lost the fucking little thing. The controller.
How is that? You have such a filthy black hole of a room that you fell down and you lost the remote and can't locate it.
I never did find it after I shocked the shit out of myself that day.
He needs a wellness check again. He needs another wellness check. How do you lose the remote to the shock collar? Unless you're a hoarder and you have garbage all over the floor.
I had to recover from the shock, and then after that, I was like, "Oh shit!" and I forgot. Tried to forget that whole moment, and then I was like, "Okay, I need the actual shock collar," and I couldn't find the remote.
You got two options here. Either you're a hoarder and you lost the fucking remote in the pile of garbage that you live in, or you're lying and you're just scared and you hid the remote so that we don't have to shock you anymore. Trying to play everybody.
OTW, I just got an electric fireplace over the weekend, bro. It made me think of when you got the fireplace because of Jack Talcott. So I kind of did the same thing.
Why would you? Why? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't like you for that. Why would you get an electric fireplace?
That's you.
What do you mean that's me?
I don't mean anything
what
at all.
The hell?
I was using the fireplace.
Why are you cupcaking it with some pedo pogo fucktards lately? Flow State, Jack Talcott. What's up with Nubs? Cupcaking it like a cupcake.
Now, you're so much the guy who, like, if we had like wow, this idiot. Yeah, if we had a party, like if we were all here hanging out, as you all like to do, you're the guy who just can't stop talking about the other guys across town. It's like, why do you care so much about Slow State and Jack Talcott? They're losing and failing everywhere in life. Don't worry. If we play this out long enough, they'll be their own worst enemy and detriment. You don't even have to attack them. They'll commit suicide directly or indirectly. Thoughts on the suicide? Willing suicide?
Damn it. I think it's a.
What is Nubs doing exactly today? Other than what he's really
AI
good at.
Version? It's the
Strain
AI
Day.
broadcast. He's speaking to us in
It's Strain Day. Of course, I'm destroying broadcasts.
Okay, this is like the first Morse code. So we have Marconi, and now we have the first Morse code recording. Nubs just invented a new off-grid communication system.
You non-news motherfucker. You asked me for news. I put it in your shit, and you don't even want to fucking do it. I'm going to do it with him. I don't do it to you.
Videos.
I'll do it to OTW. I don't do it to daddies. But I'll do it to OTW.
You had one good video this month.
No, the video I just put in just now actually woke up half of your fucking people to realize the shit I'm talking about is real. We have receipts on everything I say. And even people like Red 40 and others are like, damn, I didn't know it was this deep, Snafu. My bad. Maybe there are players in the game you guys have exposed that are on a dangerous level. I just put the whole fucking thing in there, waking up the people to how crew's been doing this for a long time.
I'm exposing the fact that you in that Walmart just like look like Splinter from Ninja Turtles, the movie. Not even the cartoon. You ever see the movie of that? I didn't see the whole movie.
I was more like the Warthog guy, like Bebop and Rocksteady, right?
Splinter from the movie in the suit, like the man wearing the suit. It's not a cartoon. It's an actual guy in a suit. They're all wearing He actually looks like he has the same skin texture and the same sort of whiskers as the Splinter character. Very shocking.
This is why you can't be a good daddy. You fucking just ruined the Ninja Turtles for me. Telling me it's a man in a suit.
Well, I mean, potentially.
What are you gonna tell me next? Santa's fucking fake.
Monograph is your Santa Claus.
Oh, don't go there. Hey, you know, by the way, I talked to Fort Lupton Police Department last night. The great Randy Reeves is facing some big time right now for assault. And we had a little discussion with the DA's attorney and many other people. The great Randy Reeves is tripping right now. He's not having a good time right now, especially since he went racist.
That call, the DA, yes, snafu.
Oh yeah, we had to chat about pedograph and stuff.
This holiday season, I'm hiring Monograph to come on my channel and to wear Santa outfit. And we're gonna do it in person. We're gonna have an event.
I'll shove his bitch ass down a chimney, not the chimney he likes to usually play with. His chimneys are like children-sized chimneys.
I'm gonna take away your development deal if you get violent. You have to sit on Monograph's lap and tell him what you want for Pogo Christmas. That's gonna be.
I will not sit on his lap and talk about the first thing that pops up. That's not going to happen.
I'll take your development deal like Aiden Ross. You won't be on Kick anymore. You'll do what I say.
Well, OTW, my job is done. I put the news in your backstage. You guys could review Tommy or Flo or Host States or actually look at real news optics here in the digital verse that affects every one of you. The optics are high.
Well, there you go, Jeeps. He left. No more terrible Mike. Thank you, Yolanda, for the moon bit that we riffed off of earlier. That was pretty good.
Stop coming on panels with broken mics, snafu. It's not a good look.
Yeah, it doesn't make for a good podcast.
That's me.
You got a good mic.
But actually, you know, all jokes aside, I wanted to hear what Paul was actually going to say about, you know, like, why are you getting an electric fireplace, you know, Jack Talcott reference. Where were you going to go with that?
I think I went where I needed to go. What kind of a fucking modern day corporate white male gets a fucking electric fireplace?
It was $7 at a yard sale. It was new. They got it for $40. So
like that was that's your logic. Like anything you come across that's significantly less than whatever you would have paid for it, even if it's crap, you just go ahead and buy it.
Well, if it's to make fun of somebody. Yeah.
I bought an electric fireplace and a Charizard. They only wanted 5 for the Charizard. It's holographic.
I actually had mine because I had got it years ago. So it was like, you know, so I just took it and put it in the background. And I just wanted to make fun of Jack when I did it. But to get it for $7 to make fun of Jack is worth it, I think. $7.
I can tell he has terrible taste in life. I could just tell. He's like my Lee. Right, like if we're doing Joey Diaz, he's my Lee. Like I guarantee, if I ask him what did he eat today, he's gonna tell me some weird shit. He went and did some wild and weird shit. Ate something he wasn't supposed to. I bought a $7 electric fireplace from Korea. It's gonna catch on fire. It's gonna actually catch on fire. That's why they're selling it.
I'm eating hummus and challah bread.
Snafu's back.
The Flying Jew.
He keeps dropping the same fucking video.
Yeah, you guys always beg for fucking receipts. You always say, "What have you done, Snafu? What did you do?" And when I put the shit in there, you guys ignore it like little coward ass bitches. Like little coward ass bitches. You'd rather fucking review Tommy. You'd rather review Flow State. I'm putting you Mike Strutton, Marfugal News, Brian from Not No Impact bullshit. And you guys want to ignore it like a bunch of clown ass fucks. So I'm going to spam the fuck out of you backstage.
Hey, welcome to Hot Dog Eating, I believe, Chap. I don't know. I can't see the full name. Okay, and then we have Yeet Skeet and Boogie that just popped in backstage.
Oh, you got the P bombers coming back, OTW.
Yeah, let's add this Yeet Skeet and Boogie. What's up, Yeet Skeet and Boogie?
But yeah, that's Gay Moose.
Come on, bro. You can't recognize can't recognize the avatar, brother.
Oh my god!
Anything with a weird.
Okay, look, I'm gonna have to say right away. He just cammed up, ladies and gentlemen. I won't be able to remove the overlay because it's too ugly, guys. I can't.
Hold on, bring Skylark up here. I think she got rid of that beta male. Her latest beta male, Matthew. Pretty sure she's done with him. I get that vibe. Bring her up here, man. I gotta urinate. I know she's into that.
Hey, the link is.
She uses pubic hairs to garnate her fucking blood.
You guys can judge me and say Jesus wouldn't do that and whatever else. I know what they're gonna do, but I'm not as experienced as most people. Snafu, please. I'm making my case. She likes to be urinated on, and I've never really done that out in the open. Like one time I urinated on the woman I was showering with. Yeah, let's not go there. You don't want to picture me showering, obviously.
We're gonna break the seal already.
Hey, all you fucktards always think it's pretty early to bring receipts, and then you want to ignore it. It's interesting you don't want to fucking review it and look at some receipts.
Yeah, whatever. Anywho,
you never heard about breaking the seal? Once you take your first piss after drinking,
listen, we don't want to know about your gay games, okay? Breaking the seal guy over here. Riding the goat, breaking the seal, whatever you're into, bro. I know that wife of yours has got it strapped on late night. I know what's up over there. I can tell. No, yeah, that's why you're laughing. Dude, I know these kind of things. I can see it. I can feel it.
I couldn't do it. Why do you think I'm so afraid of going to jail? Because nothing's going up there.
Okay, who's the hot dog eating person?
Hot dogs here. I got hot dogs here.
Moose
champion.
Fuck, man.
Moose indirectly revealing he believes he'd get fucked if he went to jail. You don't have much self-confidence, huh? You don't have much faith in yourself.
No, I think I look pretty good.
That's what it is.
Unfortunately,
it's not that you're a bitch. You're just so attractive that everyone has to have you. Okay.
Hey, I tell you what though, driving without a license, it's not that bad. It's not, until you get pulled over, I guess. But it's really not that bad.
Hey, hot dogs here. Hot dogs here.
I'll have one.
Go, strike team, go.
Why do the hot dogs look rusty? They look rusty and they kind of smell.
They are kind of dirty. They look like they've probably been hanging out in Snafu's locker room.
Now, Snafu Snaps, you're aware those frozen hot dogs are for oral use only, right? You haven't been doing anything else with them, have you?
I'm embarrassed for all you fucks, to be honest with you. You guys always ask me.
He's not going to let it go.
And then you want to ignore the receipts. This is some fucking bullshit.
Again, could you pull up the rat Splinter from the Ninja Turtles movie? Not the cartoon. Yeah. There it is. There's you. You just were walking around, except that rat has more like appropriate hair. I guess hair's not as weird.
Yeah, it's tied up, at least.
But you can notice he has the same skin texture. Is really what I was pointing out.
Oh, you know what? I figured out where your pogo license comes from. You guys remember that video game Bully?
Just get on camera, man. Get on camera, man.
Paul. That little kid, like you pull up the picture of the kid on that
camera,
game Bully.
Man.
Yeah, have you ever seen that character on that video game Bully? It looks just like
this is not. Don't make this about me. This is about you. Get on camera, man.
Little white boy. Look at the kid Bully. Maybe I can find a picture of. I think they fucking took that video game from you. They used your life.
You have splinter dermatitis. Okay, you have the
Yeah,
same.
but OTW, pull up that PlayStation 2 game, Stop Bully,
You have
and
the
look at
same
it's
skin
fucking
type as
Paul, you
Splinter from
guys.
the movie, not even the cartoon. Very rough, bumpy, brown
Yeah,
gray
but
skin.
at least I'm in a sewer.
I
You're in
thought
a
that was
fucking
just
school.
your ex-boyfriend's ass. It would have been funnier with vagina, but I know you haven't had any in a long time.
Moose.
Okay,
I
so
know
probably
you
shouldn't be talking about
Christos
that.
is actually going to use the
but
fireplace that
leave
he
the ass
bought.
talk out of it.
Yeah, I
So
mean, that $7
produces
fireplace, unlike Jack Talcott, he actually owns his fireplace. So he's ahead of the game.
And you know what? It probably produces heat, right?
Wait, who's got a fireplace?
Christos just bought one for $7 in a garage sale.
Bargain buying? Great shit right there.
Well, if it works for $7, I mean, hey.
Moose, you shouldn't be talking about fucking bitches when you're looking like this. Like this is amazing.
Cold.
This is just.
Cold.
Can you full screen me, OTW?
Yeah,
Look at
sure,
this
why
fucking
not?
guy.
You look
Holy
like
shit.
Zoolander,
No,
except
not
more
that
gay.
The gay guy. No, the other gay guy.
More gay
This one.
versus
Wait a minute,
Zoolander.
now I'm all fucking mixed up. Oh, that
The
one.
guy in
All
the
right,
bottom
1 second.
left.
There you go.
Oh, look at this fucking guy.
What can I
This is
say? I'm the
peak
hot
Moose.
dog eating champion.
Holy shit, dude. This is just some great stuff, man.
Timmy, like that was
Like,
like
what's the voice?
only times
Oh, I'm Moose.
actually thought about it. And you're not actually
Hi,
funny
I'm
this
Moose.
time, nor are you adding
Hello.
any value to this. Because
My
I'm
name
not
is Moose.
laughing. Is anybody laughing in the crowd? Is Timmy funny today, guys?
OTW, look at the images and look at what in your backstage. This is Paul.
I mean, the low quality that you bring around you, Paulie, is why I left. Not you, but the low quality of characters. I mean, you've got Timmy over
And
here.
you proceeded to go hang out with Jack Talcott, so I'm not taking anything of what you're
I
saying
went from
seriously.
bad to worse, all right, to even worse
Yeah, right.
after that. So, I mean, I have no room to talk, but at the same time, I recognize that greatness shouldn't be surrounded by the
Right,
rest
you
of this.
forget that like I've had many successful people around me or come through because of what they see with me or what I do. And then there's everyone else who I indirectly use for content because they're incompetent and incapable. They're not aware.
Exactly.
Listen to Moose's most recent Facebook status. May you be surrounded by authentic, positive energy from people who have good intentions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, I don't even really use Facebook, Timmy.
How amazing.
Timmy,
Excuse
remember when
me?
I asked if you've ever used tools to build anything and you're like, no?
That was.
I never said no. Now you're just lying again. You're just a daily liar. I didn't say no.
We couldn't even build a birdhouse if we wanted to.
Dude, you're
And
talking to
now
a
I
guy
know
who has
Timmy's
an
stalking
engineering
me.
degree, you fucking
So,
moron.
Timmy, you missed me. You missed me, basically.
Tell
You've
me
been
more.
stalking my
God, tell me
Facebook
more about
profile.
your
You've been
degrees
wondering where
in
I'm at.
society.
You've been waiting
Just
for me
because we
to
don't
come
have
back.
degrees, right?
I'm
None
back,
of us know
baby.
what we're doing.
I don't understand.
I'm back.
I
I'm
literally.
here. I'm here.
Let's
Daddy
get
time.
ready to rumble!
Tell us
Daddy
more
time's
about
for
your
you,
degree, Timmy. Oh,
think
now he's
this
going
is
to show
Ford?
the state government given degree.
That says,
You know, he got to
state
prove that
given?
he's
The state didn't
approved,
hand-
like Pfizer
One at a
approved,
time, sir.
government approved.
How is this government approved? My 3.1
You're
GPA
bragging
with my
about your
chemical
fucking
engineering degree.
degree in how to build shit. Since do you
Right,
think
I don't
the
know how to
fucking
build
Aborigines
chemical
have
reactors.
degrees
You
on how to
know how to build
shit?
a birdhouse. Congrats.
Oh my God, you're so fucking. Look, you even got signatures under it. You're so self-indulgent of yourself.
If this isn't this is just proof, you dumb fuck. It's proof that
Proof
what I'm
that
saying
you
is
got a
true.
degree from a fucking entity saying you could build shit. Yay, good for you. It's laughable. I
How
said,
is
can you
that
prove it?
laughable? You
show
said I
us- show us
can't
a
build
piece of
anything,
paper.
yet I said
You
I'm an
show us a
engineer.
piece of paper.
Yes, this is called logic. I know how to build shit.
So show me something you built. Show us one of your fucking amazing builds.
I'm not making birdhouses right
you
now.
guys are redirecting, and I'd rather stick on Moose for a little bit. Timmy, can you pull up the pictures on Facebook with Moose and matching flannel onesies with his wife that she obviously puts him in to bitch him out in front of the world? It's an obvious power move. Can you please pull those up for our viewing pleasure?
Hey, Carrick, I had a chat with Fort Lupton about, old Randy Reeves wanted to smash your head in,
Yeah, that's good.
Timmy,
Yeah.
because he's searching the Facebook right now to delete them.
He should squirm
He's probably
right now.
deleting them right now. Please, you fucking loser failure. Shut up, loser failure. You're constantly crowing about these people who are more worse off in life somehow than you, according to you. No one cares. No one cares about Randy Reeves, the trailer trash meth addict who's fucking mad mystic, the drunk with schizophrenia. No one cares. Only you care. We think these people are insane like you. Quite frankly, they're obviously wise people because they don't show up here like you do day after day, embarrassing yourself. They at least embarrass themselves in a private hole somewhere. You do it regularly here.
Paul, you never accomplish anything because you sit on your ass and grift.
It's not true. It's just not true. Wait till dude, you guys are so fucked. You don't even know because I don't talk about it. I talk more about it than I should. Over the next 2 to 3 years, if I continue what I'm doing, you're going to see me on a land in a home with my feet kicked up, and you're going to have to fill in the blanks and wonder why. While you're riding around in a fucking Mitsubishi Clips from the 90s. Give me a fucking break, dude. Living on Section 8. Telling me about what I'm doing and not doing. I'm literally changing my life and other people's lives and the course of history, directly or indirectly. Give me a fucking break.
Again,
like you can have
I'm
everything.
also a way better speaker and man and broadcaster than you, in case you want to check the stats and the record.
You're a pogo cupcake. And
I'm winning on so many levels that I'm expecting to die soon because there's no way my life could go this well and be this synchronistic and me be like this value-able at this point. Like a lot like you, I must have some subconscious low self-worth, self-esteem, self-value thing that's still creeping around in me. Because I go, man, everything's like, I'm so coming into my own and being influential and talking truth and moving people and generating value and results. I go, when's this going to go really bad for me so I can like be humbled and checked and wind up like Snafu's slave again?
It's laughable. You guys haven't accomplished shit. I show you receipts and none of you guys want to talk. You guys more want to talk and discredit than actually fucking. You're a joke. Really,
how
it's
are you
honestly
paying for those medical bills? How are you paying for those machines you're always hooked up to, like the fucking the $1 Million Man? What was that old show where the guy was all hooked up to wires in order to exist? How are you paying for all that exactly? You wizarding? Who are you like begging for or grifting off of or promising to pay? Yeah, there you go. So like you're another slave fighting fake battles online whose health is failing, who has to live off the state and everyone else in order to keep the machines hooked up to him.
Oh, kind of like you're living off the state through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter media relations. My last video explains that I put in receipts how
this is the irony of life. Is I'll be long dead. Snaps will be long dead.
YouTube through algorithmic clips and also media relationships.
The bionic Snafu. Right, the bionic man. That's him. He's got millions of dollars of equipment hooked up to him, but we have no idea what he does for a living. I mean, he just said he can't afford to get a microphone. So Snaps Talcott, along with Wizard and everyone else on this place, going to tell me and others about what we're doing and not. Dude, you can't even take a shit 500 days straight because you're probably constipated a week at a time.
In the backstage, you could try and discredit
you and the Wizard slave and Talcott and everyone else to show anywhere in their life 500 days straight with any kind of fucking
full freedoms, for rights.
You're just not getting it. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. I'm going to go to jail probably like 3 more times.
Never going to get it.
I'm going to come out better than you every time. I'm going to have more and be more than you. I'm going to be more influential and powerful and inspiring than you, and more real than you, and more responsible and accountable than you. And you're going to keep like wondering how it all happened.
You may dream of being on my level, but you'll never attain that. You guys
only hope now, everyone's only hope is that I die an early death of cancer or something that I've not treated through the medical system. Because I have terrible genetics. Everyone in my family is dead of cancer at this point, and I smoke reefer constantly. It's your only hope now.
Don't forget the bumps you have.
Only hope now is that I have lived a more full life than the majority of you, and I will die an early death. And that will go on record. Only the good die young, like Billy Joel says. So that's okay.
Are those bumps abscess or are they cysts?
I still lived a more full and true and influential and powerful life, right? I did what I've come here to do on some level. The same can't be said for most of you. I'd rather live a good life than a long life if that's what God has meant for me.
Well, I could honestly say Crew and myself have done way more than half you jackasses online.
Right. I accept that. Crew is doing it all, and we're just not aware. Okay.
Well, I put the receipts in the back. You guys seem to not want to look at the shit. You guys beg receipts, throw them up, then you guys avoid it all.
Is it possible that I and about like 5 other people I know and about like 50 people that I indirectly communicate with across the nation, like year to year, actually have gone to jail over and over again and not stopped while you guys have been yammering online, and actually the states we were in have started to change policy? Is that possible? Is it possible you're all telling my story? And then when I tell my story, you say I'm delusional? Is it possible?
Pedophile racketeering rings and these pogos come to suck up with you and you suck up with them.
The pogos come to me because they're men first and they can't believe. And they can't believe
that these bigger channels even start surrounding you lately.
You're not getting it. You're just not getting it. You're really not getting it.
I get it 100%.
I'm literally a founding daddy for you and other slaves who do little to nothing. You should be sucking my feet and printing money with my face on it. Paulie DeCastro. You should literally have a $55 bill with my face on it.
$55
as a founding daddy.
Seriously,
$55 bill.
And my face should be on a $33 bill.
Like, you should literally, instead of on here yammering and your disrespect, I'm sick of your disrespect, okay? In your unthankful, ungrateful disrespect, I'm going to have to, see, Dad, you just did that. That was you.
That deserves a bomb.
You should be, right as we speak right now, using all this time, energy, attention every day to build a mountain sculpture of my face and maybe a few others who are actually living their information despite the consequences and sacrifice or what seems to be loss at times. That's actually where we're gaining long term, right? You should have Mount Slavemore. Well, no, Mount Slavemore would be a sculpture of you. Sorry, that's you again. Right. That's what we need. Instead, you're unthankful and ungrateful. You're projecting disrespect.
The limelight's always on me.
You're just not getting it. You're not getting it. You guys all miss that, like, you know.
Pogos. I get you have agendas.
You've seen me make a dozen videos at least where the police completely did a 180 and put on record that they're fraudulent and that they're sorry they're alive the way that they are and that we need to do better, right? While you are online looking like Splinter Skin Creature. You have splinter dermatitis online and unkempt hair.
It's hilarious because we've exposed some of the biggest criminals, traitors, and
because you look like how I should look living the life I've lived. Right? That's what's interesting. I still look rather youthful, even though I've kind of lived a rather hard life, challenging life, some might say.
Like I said, you look like that fucking video game character from Bully, the PS2 game. You do. You seen that little? You look like the bully, like the little kid Bully from the PS2 game.
Pull up the picture of it. I want to see it.
OTW's back. He's a terrible broadcaster.
Picture of what?
It's been there for a minute.
I had already brought it up. I showed it earlier. Hold on a sec.
It's Paul 100%.
That's me?
See?
Oh, okay. All right.
That's you.
That's you. I don't see that. I don't get it, but it's okay.
Now,
Where's
how about
the
you
videos?
actually play
Hey,
the
you know
important
what's
video
interesting?
after that?
You know what's really interesting about a lot of you guys? Where's the videos of you during the last 4 years? Like, there's about 2 or 3 of them of me getting arrested at courts, like arguing with people at stores, you know, not wearing the face covering. And then there's videos of you with the face coverings on, jumping up and down with man tits, yelling about Donald Trump being your daddy. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Again, I put the receipts in the backstage.
Right. So, like, while you were doing so much somehow, some way, just up to 2 to 4 years ago, right? Like there's videos of me, if you go look hard enough, there's videos of me at protests telling people what they need to be doing and living it. There's videos of me out front of the protests talking about mind control and government being slavery, right? And telling Trump tards and fake anarchists, Antifa folks, that they're all misguided and misled. While I was doing that for the last fucking decade, ask Virally because she would know. She's seen me at one of them. Pretty sure that's where we originally met, right? You were jumping up and down just 2 to 4 years ago, screaming, Trump's my daddy, I have man tits, and I cover my face because I'm a slave. And you have the nerve to sit around here and tell me or others what we're doing and not doing and what you're doing other than embarrassing yourself and everyone? Snaps
Sure
to
do.
Castro.
You guys are avoiding the optics. I put the receipts in backstage. I put the videos of what I've done, the criminals, traitors, and frauds online. Big tech type.
You're trying to convince you and everyone else.
You guys refuse to look at the optics.
Why did I put Timmy? I thought it was him with the face covering. I'm constantly having to explain myself to retarded people like you who are claiming to do shit, but there's no facts or evidence, and there's no reason to believe it based on the way you guys present. Here's a clue. People can pretty much infer by the way that I present how I'm living, how I carry myself. That's not you. I know you think that that's like shallow or non-credible, but that's how life works.
You know what's funny?
Is what I looked like.
I exposed one of the biggest criminals that deals with your channel, OTW, that deals with Paul's channel. No, here's what's funny is I'm exposing people that have direct links to your channel and OTW's channel. And again, you guys want to talk your shit. I actually put.
Why do I give a fuck? Why does he give a fuck? This is what you're not getting, bro. I live an actual life, and it's very uneventful at this point because I choose it to be that way. And then I'm sure in between you got like extreme eventfulness. But it's like, you think that when I leave here and I go about my day, I give a fuck about this media world that you all live in? I don't. I come here to present who and what I am and do what I do, work on me or speak the truth and hold folks accountable. I don't give a fuck about people who stop by, who got like third-party connections to me, according to you. None of these people are involved in my day-to-day life or activities. They have little to no control or influence over me. Yet you're just screaming and yelling from the top of the mountain like this is some kind of takeover they're doing. Give me a break. Give God a break. Give devil a break. Please.
You don't keep avoiding the optics because you're okay with new world
Your
optics.
whole life is online. This is the antithesis. I have more online than you and most others whining. I have more to lose and more to gain. And I'm not screaming and yelling and freaking out. I'm actually just living my life one day at a time and working toward goals and a future and destiny for myself and others. While you sit in a hospital bed dying with nothing, crying about the life you live online. Do you see how we're like diametrically opposed? You're fucked in both arenas because you're screaming and yelling online and claim to have all the content and can't get more than 5 live viewers on your channel. What's the point at that point? No one's even listening.
Bro, I got more fucking establishment than you have.
You don't.
What you talking about,
He's now full on hallucinating, OTW. Get those smelling salts out. He's seeing and hearing things.
No,
what we've got here is failure.
All right, you know what? We're going to go ahead and leave. We're going to strike the fuck out of you, OTW. You want to look at real optics, go look at them. But
so now you're going to run? So now you're going to run and threaten him with policy?
With the coward ass fucktard.
You're acting like the biggest bitch ever, man.
No, he thinks it's cute to backstage me, unbackstage. Fucking play your games.
What are
you guys enjoy your
I didn't backstage you, man. You've been having that
interaction.
I was doing
I put the receipts in the backstage for you.
I was doing that.
Snafu has never done anything. I've done more than half of you guys on this thing.
It's not a competition, dude.
So you
It's
can
not
watch
a competition.
and learn, or you could continue to fucking just
It's
try
not a
and
competition.
But we know what's true, and that's the truth, you and the crew. Fuck you all. You pedo.
Why does it have to be a competition?
He's making it a competition with people he can't compete with. You're a regular slow state. Comes on the other day on my channel and goes, why won't you compete with me? Because I go, you view me as competition. I don't view you as competition. I'm doing better than you in everything, in every way. Why would I choose to compete with you? If I'm going to choose to compete, I'm going to do it with someone who's doing better than me in every way. That's how that works.
Yeah.
And I don't even choose to do that.
Yo, isn't it bizarre? This dude is claiming that he's been around with Alex Jones for 10 years. Then this dude has got this picture, and he's posting this picture on the internet, like, proud. I'm wearing my mask. Like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how, like, talk about a red flag. That's a white flag.
That's his marketing. That's his promotion.
Yeah, like, what is this?
Dude, bring up the video. Bring up the video.
What video?
With screaming and yelling with a Trump hat on. He was yelling, Trump's my daddy. Like something, he wasn't actually saying Trump's my daddy, but he was wearing a MAGA hat and screaming like he was climaxing over Donald Trump. The most pathetic, embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
I don't even remember. You know the title of that particular video? I don't even know.
Yeah, woke tard screams for daddy. Try that. We'll use keywords here.
Woke MAGA snaptard.
Yeah, these guys run around acting like they've been with the program forever, and they still haven't got with the program yet. You know, you meet them in life. Oh, hey, what are you in for? Oh, I blew myself up in a warehouse incident making hash. Like, that's your biggest headline. That's what you're known for. If I Google you, it's retard blows himself up in hash incident. Because you want to sit in a warehouse and fill it up with noxious fumes, and then light cigarettes and blow the place up.
Or something, yeah.
It was worse than that. It wasn't even a warehouse. A warehouse you might have been able. He was in a motel with the windows closed, filling it with toxic chemicals, and then tried to light a cigarette, blew himself up, and then blew the motel up. You're the biggest fucking retard. Hashtard. He's so desperate to turn a $20 profit.
This comedian and Bollywood star's first comedy special was filmed in New York.
Okay, namaste Montreal. We feeling good, yeah? Yes? It's where all the Canadians come from. I should clarify, I'm not of Indian origin. I'm not an immigrant. I'm actually just from India. You know, all the local Indians that you meet over here, I'm the reason they left. It is good to be here in the West. I apologize, but that's what we call you in India, the West. To us, this continent is, how do I put this? Americans and Canadians to us are kind of like Indians and Pakistanis. You know. Keep your panties on, relax, wait. You're very similar people with very different life expectancies. But there are subtle differences. For instance, Americans have basketball, you have basketball. Americans have beer, you have beer. And yet, when I was crossing the border into Canada, no cages. Not one cage. I'm sorry, I realize that joke is dark and uncomfortable, but in my defense, so are the cages. I mean, Montreal might be the most comfortable immigration experience I've ever had. There was no paperwork, no questions. The guy just gave me a kiss on my cheek. He was like, that's it. He was just like, welcome home. I was like, but I'm just visiting. He's like, that is what they all say. I apologize. Is that accent offensive? The thing is, I don't know. I live in India. We don't know. Getting offended is something privileged people do. And we just got privileged last week. It's very exciting. Now, in the West, you've had privilege for years. You've taking offense to another level. Like, Americans can get offended on other people's behalf. It's a very American thing. I'm offended for you. What you went through is so stressful, I'm going to take the day off. But you're very proactive. You're all about justice. You see something wrong on the streets, you take your phone out and you film it. What you're doing, sir, is wrong. You're going to go viral. There are going to be consequences. Every time in American films a hate crime, in the background you can see an Indian just walking to work. I didn't see anything. I don't have my green card yet. But in the West, you're very, what's the word? Woke. That's a word I learned, woke. That's the reason I travel, to learn new words. It's not to expand my audience. I'm Indian. My audience is expanding as we speak right now. I asked a college kid, I'm like, what does it mean to be woke? She was like, to be woke means to realize, to recognize, to organize, and then to vocalize. That describes everything from a book club to a Nazi rally, all right? I want to be one of these comedians who can write woke jokes for woke people. I've tried. Do you want to hear them, yeah? Knock, knock. Well, if you need to hear the sound of somebody's voice before you let them into your apartment, what does that say about your elitist privilege, huh?
Oh, well, I don't know. I just like... So, I guess everybody dropped out. I guess a 4-minute clip is enough for everybody to just leave. That's it. No. Don't put the pussy on the pedestal? What the hell? Can we listen to Joey Diaz speaking on the eating monkey? I guess. I don't know. What time is it now? 1:45. Hey, when you going live, Paul? Yo, you back?
Yep, just watching your terrible broadcast, Phil.
Right. Funny clip, OTW. Christos just dropped something. Okay.
Oh, there's some more receipts in your backstage. Oh, yeah. Snafu and the crew don't do shit. But it's funny how you want to ignore and discount. You want to play some stupid Canadian dumb shit.
Michigan. Turning to news making headlines around America this morning. In Michigan, police have arrested a man who's suspected of chopping up his wife. Michigan police say suspect Stephen Grant was captured in Michigan's Wilderness State Park and airlifted to a hospital. The area is more than 400 miles from Grant's suburban Detroit home. The 37-year-old man is accused in the death of his wife, Tara Lynn Grant. A torso and body parts of who is believed to be the mother of two were found this weekend in and near the Grant home.
Stephen Grant, and he was brought here to Northern Michigan Hospital where he is being treated for hypothermia and possible frostbite to his feet. He is, of course, under continuous police supervision.
Grant went missing hours before police found the torso in the garage of his home.
Footage? Like, what did it have to do with anything? I'm giving you guys optics, something content here. You always say Snafu doesn't have shit. Snafu ain't shit. I bring receipts, and you want to avoid it, which I know why you guys are avoiding it. You're trying to discredit it. But that's funny. You're literally pulling up content of old ass clips, have nothing to do with anything. When you guys ask me to bring the shit, I bring it, and then you avoid it. So I find it very optically funny watching you avoid and discredit everything you could do to not even show the optics. So yeah, I've done way more than half you motherfuckers up here. Again, you're a failure of a broadcaster.
It's never too late to stop being a dick.
All right.
When you get bored and you have nothing else to do, why don't you play the receipts to prove what Snafu's been saying? But again, you're gonna do everything you can to avoid that, and you'll play some shit that has no relevance. You just played an old clip about some dude murdering shit, chopping shit, like 1980s, 60s, like had nothing to do with anything. But you're gonna do everything possible to ignore the fact of, oh, we called him out. Motherfucker brought receipts, and now we don't want to fucking check him out. Fucking funny. You guys are pathetic. Go ahead, keep searching. Figure out something to fill this show in since you're not going to play the receipts.
That's going to be easy.
Well, yeah, your show's a bunch of worthless shit.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit distracted because now I'm checking.
No, that's
back.
okay. Let me just, while you're checking that, 9-307, location of debtor from Cornell University, says that the location of the United States is located within the District of Columbia. Now, playing devil's advocate, like for example, this arty lawyer dude, or anybody like him would say, yeah, but over here it says that the United States is this. So there are different definitions for the United States. What would you say to that?
I would say that they're constantly using their written and spoken doublespeak in order to conflate jurisdictions, the public and private, in order to create chaos, right? I mean, essentially what we have here spiritually is agents of chaos, dark entities who deceive themselves or been deceived, and they're in the process of deceiving others, it seems, right? So I think they're constantly double speaking like the snake in the garden, right? Trying to convince folks that if they just eat of the fruit of this tree, that they'll become like gods. Hey, if you just like opt into statute, policy, and code and like don't, if you just submit, cooperate, and comply, we're all going to be safe, right? It's again, the same spiritual archetype of the fork-tongued, double-speaking snake in the garden, trying to convince us to give up our true power, to do the will, to do its will in order to become safe enough that we can be like God, right? It's obviously the road to a fallen state of beingness, which is exactly what these folks have become, fallen angels.
So since most Americans have fallen into the trap of having a social security number, driver's license, proof of insurance, registration, paying taxes, how do we unravel ourselves from this? I mean, it's truly complex. I mean, if you look at the federal code, if you look at the tax code, there's thousands upon thousands of pages, millions of words. So they got you, every way that you could possibly imagine. How does one person, how does an individual, how does a man of the land release himself from the trap?
Well, you'd have to come to the organic, authentic conversion state of choosing a different belief or knowing something different to be true. I can't tell anybody else what to believe or what their conviction is. I've come to a state at some point in my life where I realize I will govern myself. I get to make choices on what I do. No other man or woman in this realm gets to do that. I mean, quite frankly, growing up, I didn't listen to my own mother and father. Why am I going to listen to a strange man or woman? And the answer comes back to, again, a self-knowledge answer of faith or fear. The only reason everybody's doing this is because they're living in a fear-based reality. So, I mean, I could go back to, again, the polarity that leads to the one truth, one life, one way. If you're living in fear, well, you're definitely not living in faith. So you're probably godless, and you're probably in and of the world and of your father, the devil.
And most of that
comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Go ahead.
Most of that fear probably comes from ignorance, because, you know, like Jefferson said, those who desire to be ignorant and free desire what never was and what never shall be. So there's these people sitting in ignorance, and because they have this ignorance, they have a vast amount of fear about things that they don't understand. So how does the average individual release themselves from, say, property taxes or registration, proof of insurance, and social security number?
Well, part of it comes down to recognizing that everything here exists to work with, to co-create, or to serve you. The agencies, all the rest of it, that's the foundation of law and this system. We're beneficiaries / benefactor of the trust. The problem is we keep identifying as trustees. There go the obligations, right? So if you identify as the trustees of the public trust, whether you know it or not, they're going to impose obligations on you. You clear the record or correct the record in the fact that we are the benefactor, aka government only exists because of us, right? We as men created it. We gave it a limited power in order to uphold our rights from folks who wish to take them. So the moment that they do not fulfill their task, the power transfers back to the benefactor / beneficiary, right? So it starts with correcting the status on record. Your status can never be changed under God, but in their records, on their record, you are identifying as a trustee, and there go the obligations, right? So men and women don't have duties and obligations. They have rights under God. And that's the problem here. This is why they'll say driving's a privilege. Yeah, driving's a commercial term. Government and servants don't get to decide for men and women who has what, when, why, and how. They only get to do that for themselves and folks who identify with that and opt in. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So most folks are ignorant of not only God, therefore they're faithless. They're ignorant of how this system works and the fact that they've opted into, with contract, a whole bunch of obligations that are advisory for men and women and only compulsory for agents of the corporation.
All right, so one thing at a time here. How do you release yourself from? Let me ask you a personal question. Do you drive? Is there a difference between driving and traveling? First of all, am I using the wrong term here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The federal code, defines this once again, and then they'll say, "Well, state code is different than federal." No, you can't write up state code that's antithetical to the federal code, which is pursuant to the Constitution. That's called a overthrow of the law of the land. These people just say shit. It's called checks and balances. Everything has to be pursuant to the highest code, which is pursuant to the highest law. Code is a codification of law. The law of the land is we have a right to pursue our happiness and do whatever we want without causing loss, injury, or harm, and as long as we pay our debts. That's what's known as the common law. And it's common fucking sense. When did the servants get rights and abilities more than the men and women they serve? I'll ask it over and over again. And the answer is when you all opted in and put yourselves on record as agents of this corporation rather than men and women on the land with natural rights, and then you acted like a slave. If millions of you on the road are going to ride around with all of the corporate identifiers and do contract with them willingly, what are they going to say when they come across me? Common practice is now the opposite of the common law, because they're going to go, all the rest of us think we have to do it. Right. You have a belief that you have to do what servants, civil servants, and a corporation tells you to do. My God and my conscience and my balls, quite frankly, between my legs as a man tell me, no, I don't. I don't have to listen to anyone in this realm at any time. And then pointing to a book of codes is no logical reasoning to me. It's not compelling enough. Right. So the bottom line on this, Brian, I know folks you could go get the DS-11 form. You could go get the passport corrected. You can make it clear you're not doing fraud, that the record was originally incorrect. When you were identified by your parents as a United States citizen, you can correct it to an American national, right? That's the way most folks do it. And then you'll go to U.S. code and you'll see there's a protected class and a privileged class. I'm pretty sure those two classes exist under U.S. code because there are American nationals here and other nationals, and there are citizens. Citizens are the privileged class. The ones born on the land are the protected class. Protected class has no duty and obligation to follow statute, policy, and code unless they consent. Protected class has to have their rights upheld by the system. Privileged class forgoes their natural rights for benefits and privileges. One of them would be Social Security, and the idea that you have of driving, which obviously is not the same as traveling because it's all a corporate endeavor with corporate language.
All right. So you mentioned the DS-11 form. Were you saying that tongue in cheek, or were you saying people need to fill out this form and that's part of the steps?
I'm not telling anybody what they need to do. I'm telling folks what's available.
Okay.
What is available is if you come to a spiritual understanding that you have a living God here, that you have a relationship with, and it tells you how to live, and that statute, policy, and code that they write up and remix every 2 weeks is not your law, well, then you're going to start to have a change of mind and heart and vision. And what's going to follow with that is a correction of the record to the original status of man and woman on the land under God with natural rights. That's the natural, organic, authentic progression of any being I've ever met who does this walk, including myself on some level.
So on a personal level, have you done the DS-11 and gotten your own passport?
I've not done the process with the passport. I have done the process with what the American nationals are involved in, right?
And what
essentially putting on record through affidavit that at some point there was an unlawful conversion, right? Or just a conveyance at some point that has to be corrected on the record. And then you basically give notice to all these officials that you were born on the land, right? You're subject to the law of the land and God's law, absent some loss, injury, and harm, and that you are not here to be governed by statutes, policy, and code, which your own law of the land, Bill of Rights, and Declaration says is through consent of the governed. Statute, policy, and code is given the force of law through the consent of the governed. Well, I'm returning back to the land on paper, right? And this is the other part of it. The natural progression to anybody who does this is like you see me out in a cabin in the mountains, in the woods, is back to the land, right? The same way you were born on the land under God, you should be growing your own food. You should have your own clean water sources. You should be away from the cities and suburbs with all the toxic frequencies and ideologies and propaganda. This is the natural, organic progression of a being who wants to be back where they're meant to be, right? Under God, so to speak, supernaturally.
And how has that been received by people who you encounter that are state officials, quote unquote, and you let them know, hey, I have corrected, or I'm in the process of correcting my status? Have you had a run-in with people who aren't along the lines of what you believe?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know me, Brian. I mean, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I always have. I always will, despite the fear that folks try to heap on me.
Yeah, I know you, but most people who are watching this broadcast, are a high percentage of them don't know.
Yeah, I've been arrested, over and over again. The way I look at it is, I'm just kind enough and compassionate and understanding enough and faithful enough to allow them to continue to order me around and take me away, and then me to walk out and continue out my life. It's a misunderstanding on their part, it seems.
And they have confiscated your property. They confiscated your vehicle. They took your firearms. They threw you into a cage. You got out, and there was economic harm basically done to you. Correct?
You could argue that, but through the blessings and grace of however this works, right? Whatever we believe God is, because I don't put a name or a face on it, but everything was restored one way or the other. I mean, the audience is along for the ride. They tend to contribute at times, when necessary. I don't really ask for that, but that's good faith. That's equity. That's trust. This is what we need to start learning how to work in. The maxims of what the system of law is: equity, faith, and trust. And I contend most United States citizen slaves don't understand equity, faith, and trust. So if you just do what's true and what's right and you surrender the rest, usually you come out no worse off than how you started. There's a good chance you're going to be better off, if not physically, spiritually. That's what I've experienced.
Harry Adkins says in the chat room, I corrected my status almost 5 years ago. One of the best moves I've ever made.
Right. And let's be clear, Brian, I got about 24 emails where a lot of folks told me, and I don't want to mention names. You got a lot of heroes out here who say they got the market cornered on how to be a slave. Oh, you need to plead better, Paulie boy. You need to beg better. You know, you need to figure out how to motion the court. Bullshit. If you don't stop and you continue and you do what's true and what's right and you remind these folks of their obligations, you will get your stuff back. You will get your rights upheld. If not, you know, all they could do is martyr you in a sense. And this is where folks need to have an understanding of God and themselves. And I'm not saying that we're out here seeking that. You have to understand that there is a place at times for doing what's true and what's right, surrendering the rest under God in faith, and then letting your body have whatever's going to be done to it, because you don't have control over that. All you have control over is your thoughts, emotions, actions, inactions, and what's on the record. And guess what? We're all going to be judged by that record by the end of this. If not at the courts, like the Castro and all the rest of them, we're going to be judged with that spiritual force. Because guess what? If I know you, if I can look at you and know you, I got a feeling that thing can look at you and know you because I got a relationship with it. And I seem to have that experience, right? This thing, it knows. Go ahead, Brian.
And you got to have that too. This isn't about reading words in a book, memorizing lines on a page. This is about not believing, but actually knowing, right?
In the middle of the believe is the word lie, right? Belief requires a choice. If you have a relationship with this universe and this truth and you become one with it, there's no more belief. They can't pimp on you. They can't trick you out of position. Oh, no, I know what you're doing. And that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Again, you know, I forgive them for they know not what they do, or they're here to play a role, right? Again, how are you going to get, I'm going to pick on them a little bit. How are you going to get me, I'll keep it in the eye, DeCastro, Brian, with the Zach Hubbard? How are we going to get Zach Hubbard? How are we going to get everybody to really rise to the occasion and be honorable, authentic, faithful men who surrender the outcome? How are you going to do that if it's not through these demons and dark forces testing and challenging everybody's bitch ass ego? Forgive me if that's triggering, right? Paulie's getting a little ghetto. That's what they'll say. But this is the reality of it. The darkness, the dark forces, these are our greatest teachers and testers. They're going to make a man out of you one way or the other. Bet on it.
I'm gonna do a little bit of backtracking and backfilling during the course of this, because I really want this to be clear for people who are going to watch this video later on. But this, let me read something to you and you tell me if this is like on target or not, because a lot of people have different opinions on how to correct your status, the DS-11 form, getting a passport or not getting a passport, withdrawing yourself from the tax code and all that stuff. When you're born, your parents signed a birth certificate, a certificate of live birth, and a social security papers, which opens a special type of public corporation used for political purposes. Is that true?
You did that quick. Give me that again, because I gotta really focus when we start doing the.
When you were born, your parents signed your certificate of live birth or long form birth certificate and social security papers, which opens a special type of public corporation.
Of course.
Used for political purposes.
Yeah, it's an account, bro. They open an account essentially. Where do you think that they're paying all these non-bills with? It's all your credit. You guys opted into a body politic. You keep voting and paying taxes, and they keep writing up bills they're going to stick you with. Where do you think that's going to come out of? Your credit account that they created. They're bankrupting this whole nation and this whole world right now using credit fraud.
And what
it's
is
arguably a complete fraud from top to bottom.
And for people who this is new to their ears, what's the purpose of that?
What's the purpose of that? Because Shaitan apparently works hundreds or thousands of years to somehow get humanity under its fucking thumb through socialization, you know, communism, collectivism, fascism. All the isms lead back to the same idea. Where do you think we're going now with the social credit and the Bitcoin? You think this is a coincidence? To be system matrix, there's something in us or around us that's all connected, whether it's God or the devil, and it's working toward the same end based on our choice. You're going to go with God or you're going to go with the beings in and of this world. What do you think they did the last time, Brian, when they took the gold and silver by code out of the system and gave everybody the social security system with the credit-based, debt-based system, right? They already did away with lawful money, gold and silver, 100-something years ago. And they're going to do it again. Now they're going to replace fiat with digital currency, and they're going to tokenize everybody's beingness. They already did that. When they created the all caps name and created the social security system and took the lawful money out of existence and engineered world wars, hello, we're there again, right? It was right after a slamdemic, right on the back of that, I believe, right around that time. Is it always a coincidence, Brian? that we have the Spanish flu, that leads into these depressions, that lead into these world wars, that lead into these changes in economic systems, that winds up everybody spiritually and physically in debt and have no more rights and property. The average person doesn't own anything right now. Klaus already won. When he said you guys own nothing and are happy, it's already happened. You don't own your land. You pay taxes on it. You don't own your house, most of you, because you don't have the original title or deed. You all pay mortgages. We're already there. The last 50 years has been the perfection of you own nothing, have no rights, but are happy because you can still go to Walmart and eat bullshit Jack in the Box. It's already happened. We're just now going to perfect it a little bit more, right? So sorry to be the turd in the punch bowl, right? Sorry to break up the garden party. But, this is where we're at. So now the only thing that's going to essentially change this is us going on record. Oh my God, we see it. That's what apocalypse means, the revealing of the truth that's always been here. This is an end times of an end of an age. Either nationalism, quote unquote, the common law, universal law, truth, rights, freedom, principles, values is going to be secured on record, or all you folks are going to go down the drain. And I'm sure it's been done many times before. I'm not saying it's going to be the end of the world. It's going to be the end of an idea or an age if you let it be. The idea of personal choice and freedom and God and rights is going to be like something people, rib themselves about and joke about. Listen to this guy. It's already there. You start talking God and imbued principles from the universe that we're born with and can come to know through firsthand experience, they think you're a crazy person. That's what it's become. That's how godless and faithless these communities and this country and these nations have become, where it's now just a big joke when you talk about it. Well, we're going to see, because if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the devil. Well, look around you. The greatest trick the devil ever did was convincing you it didn't exist. That's how it takes your power, your rights, and your freedom. Deception. We're there, Brian.
Now, when we're talking about God and we're talking about the devil, what a lot of people have their religion leaves a bad taste in their mouth. They say, like Marx did, religion is the opiate of the masses. But I suspect you're not talking about religion. You're talking about an actual relationship with the person the designer of all things.
There's correct? Two etymologies. Your Masons know there's a God, the grand architect. Come on. These are the people who run the majority of folks' life out there who are nihilist atheists. Even your masters say there's a grand architect. And they're here to build. Go ahead.
Just the objection is when you say God or Satan, those concepts come from the Quran or they come from the Bible. Is that what you're taking this from?
It's a description of an experience. I've had an experience in consciousness where I've deceived myself and others to my own and others' detriment while thinking I was profiteering. I've had the experience of becoming awake and aware and realizing, oh my God, there's a bigger purpose and meaning and value to whatever it is we're experiencing here. That is the experience of quote unquote God or the devil. It's inside all of us. I'm not saying it's necessarily two men in the sky. It's an aspect of our beingness, archetypally. If we embody one, we get a kingdom of heaven. If we embody the other, we get a hell on earth. Look around. The whole world is in the hands of the dark one. I'm using religious language and scriptural language, but it's based on a firsthand experience that I'm having. I don't get my law or my understanding or experience from a religious book. I'm correlating my firsthand experience to the book. And that to me is proof of a good idea. So again, there's two etymologies when it comes to the word religion, oddly enough. If you look into words and terms, you'll find out it's all there. The experience is all there. You got relegare, to reunite with essentially the true force, right, of creation. And then you have relegare in the sense of to bind. Right. This is the same way I will say addiction. The word addiction conventionally can mean bondage, vice, right? That form of addiction. Addiction, when you break up the word, can also mean toward the word, right? So you can argue my latest addiction in my life has been toward the word and the meanings held within. That's the true God. I also have a checkered past of heroin addiction and pills and being deceived and under a different state of consciousness, right? So this is, again, when you look at the words and terms and you break them up, you come to realize once again, there's two worlds. This is a dualistic simulation, night and dark, light and dark, night and day, masculine, feminine, and again, common law, constitutional, corporate administrative jurisdiction. One is essentially run by or created by God. The other one is essentially run by created by man, and I argue something connected, indwelling in man from the beginning of time, that is our collective and individual undoing.
So when
we're in something here.
So when you're quoting things that appear to come from the Bible, like you just said, forgive them, they know not what they do, and you can't serve two masters, you're just picking out those things that resonate with you through your experience, correct?
Because I've learned that I can't live in hate. I can't have enemies, right? Sun Tzu's a war master. He fought more wars than anybody here who wants to buck up and say, we're going to do this, that. Know your enemy, they'll cease to be your enemy. Right. So because I understand this dynamic, I believe, and what policy enforcement is they're doing spiritually and how they're a mirror of the rest of us, you get the government you deserve based on the collection of thoughts, emotions, actions, and inactions of the people. Right. So they are not my enemy. I will not live in war with myself or anyone here. I have no enemies.
So we're talking about basically principles of the universe that are self-evident to all if they would just open their minds to the truth of what actually is.
Pretty much. And if they were able to put aside their institutionalized indoctrination, that's a big part of it. You got to put aside your big brain beliefs and thoughts and feelings and all this shit that you've grown up in. Like, right, this is what they say, older than the Christed being. The journey to enlightenment is not about collecting more. It's about getting rid of, right? So every day you got to kind of get rid of a thought, an emotion, an action that doesn't serve you. It's not about piling more and more on. It's about taking away till you can come to a space of pure consciousness and awareness, which brings clarity and understanding. Without that state of beingness, we will always deceive ourselves and each other and be deceived.
I got to tell you, man, this is like one of the most important live stream, other than that last one that we did together, which I think was very appropriate for, the audience. This is the most important thing because you're talking about something way beyond the material world. You're talking about something way beyond the social security number, license, registration, proof of insurance. You're talking about something that strikes at the root of every single one of us. And most of us can't see it because we have been indoctrinated into this world of fiction.
Babylon, man. You go back right into the scripture, it'll tell you right there. We've all been corrupted and divided, and to the point where we can't even communicate any longer. I mean, look at where we're at now. You got Donnie and Joey up there, the supposed leaders of Babylon, right? It's completely evident that this has always been this way and may always be this way, and that it just comes down to the simulation of choice. Who and what do you want to be as an individual here? Right? What has always been inside of you intuitively telling you something's not right? Everyone has it. If you just quiet the mind and you put all the other nonsense aside, that thing will start to open up to you and communicate to you and will lead, guide, protect, and reveal. I've seen it over and over again. This is not some fairy tale, right? So, the greatest story ever told is the greatest story ever told for a reason, because it applies to all of us. If we could just look and see, listen and hear with the heart, get the sense of it. And no self, and by that, therefore, no God.
And almost everything, if not everything in the world, since the day we were born, rails against everything that you just said.
Well, that's the point, right? It's to keep you in and of the world. It's to keep you hypnotized, entertained, entranced, enticed, delusional, deluded, deceived, right? Thinking that you're doing something, you got everything you need, and then the whole time you're on record as a slave. The whole time you're on record as an infidel and a reprobate and a deviant. This thing knows how to get everybody, man. If you're not highly conscious and aware and working day to day in a spiritual practice, it will get you.
This guy, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he says in the comment section, smart man. Is that really what it is? Is it because, do you understand this because you're a smart man?
They tell me on record that I have a high IQ. I've met a lot of other folks who have a high IQ, so I don't think necessarily logical, worldly intelligence is what this is really about, right? I mean, if you go and get a dog or a cat, it pretty much has more knowledge of natural law, common sense, right from wrong, than the average United States citizen slave at this point. So, I mean, you could argue we're more mentally, intellectually intelligent and clever at times than some of the animals. But guess what? The animals live in harmony the way they're meant to live. They don't come up with all these big brain philosophies and ideas that pervert their nature, destroy themselves and their environment, right? So, again, you could say that I have a high IQ, but ultimately, I don't think that that's what this is really about. This is about seeking truth. This is about doing the will, right? This is about becoming a faithful being. Right? So I would say it's more EQ than it is IQ in the sense of spiritual, emotional intelligence. Right? Can you look within and get in touch with different aspects of you and make sense out of that? Right? I don't think it hurts to be an intellectual, so to speak. But again, look around you at all the folks throughout the ages who've been high IQ intellectuals that create all the stuff that blows everybody up and destroys everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there has to be tempered by something.
You said doing the will. What is the will?
Well, look into yourself and ask yourself, do you believe you have a right to travel freely? Do you believe that God, whoever, whatever it is, created this place for you and I and all of us to be whatever it is we're meant to be, as long as we make that choice? That's what free will is, no? Free choice? Are we going to argue that other clowns who are just like us or maybe even inferior to us can put on a costume and somehow have authority over us? It's nonsense. Right. So at some point, when you come back to a common sense ability that we all have, you could call it conscience. More is revealed objectively when it comes to right from wrong. That's all that this comes down to. The majority of folks can't objectively ascertain objective logic, morals, and ethics, right from wrong. And a big part of it is we stopped teaching it. You know, if we ever had a complete handle or grasp on this as a population, we've stopped teaching it and passing it down. Your average public school system nowadays doesn't teach civics, logic, morals, ethics. They call that philosophy now. Nobody's going to go be a philosopher. It's not profitable, don't you know? That's the difference between I and everyone else. I've lived my whole life with a love of wisdom and knowledge, essentially a philosopher in my own right, because I really care and want to know. I'm seeking the truth with the thing inside of me connected to the Most High, while the rest of them choose what they're going to specialize in and of the world so they can profiteer to their own detriment. If you don't have the discernment and the awareness of self and this dynamic, you will be chewed up and spit out. Doesn't matter how much you're getting in and of the world. What profit a man if he gain the world and lose his soul and his ability to choose? Scripture never lied one time. Pure conscious and awareness and oneness with oneself on the highest level. Either get it or you don't. It's all cause and effect, right?
I've got on the screen, and I think I want to do a separate video like this because are you interested in coming back? We're not done yet. I want to go for another maybe 50 minutes or so.
I told you, Brian, when I come over here, we got to get on YouTube too. I know you want to be on. I don't know that, but I'm presuming you want to be on Rumble because I'm a loose cannon. It's a bit iffy with me, right?
Well, my personal view on that is I'm just trying to outgrow my Rumble channel because I see the writing on the wall with YouTube. But
well, yeah, man, every time I come here, bro, you got an audience and you seem to get it. And despite all the extra shit, we vibe, right? We got an energy and a vibe here. So I'm always down to come over here, light it up and get down to the truth because we need it now more than ever. Keeps me inspired.
Yeah, no, we vibe, and you truly do inspire me, and I feel like you're a brother from another mother, maybe the same mother. I don't know, but
never know. She was a drinker.
Hey, I've got. Hey, I got to tell you, man, I have a license. I have a license plate. I have proof of insurance, and all that stuff. So I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I do want out, and I do everything you said resonates with me because here's how I view it. There are principles in the universe. I don't have a higher claim over your life and property than you. You don't have a higher claim over my life and property than me. Nobody has the right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. I understand those intellectually, and I think in my heart, but I also got to admit, I have fear too. I have a fear of the knock at the door or being pulled over and dragged out onto the highway and thrown into a cage and
we all
thrown away.
We all do, Brian, but you got to believe that you're a good dude, bro. That whoever, whatever, however this universe works is going to protect you on some level. That you're never going to get what the next person's going to get because when you show up and present, motherfuckers can know you and feel you. This is the common sense ability of the human experience. We have so little faith. Right? This is what I'm saying with DeCastro, bro. I'm not hating on him. I'm trying to get him to really in his heart, like I was 2 years ago with David Rodriguez, living in a fucking tent, trying to get him to understand what this walk is about. It's not about the money and the next 50 G's. You got to really go on record with this forcing yourself as the thing authentically, right? If not, you're going to get fucked, bro. I'm not saying I'm not potentially going to get fucked at some point. The difference is I'm going to show up as me and present like this as much as possible, the objective truth, and surrender the rest. If you can't do that, you really ain't about it. And I got to tell you, the more money you keep taking, that thing's going to get it back in blood. That's what I really believe. If you wonder why I've left so much money on the table, I've had opportunities. I've left it on the table because I know if I start taking false entitlements and calling myself something and taking money for that, and I'm not doing what's true and what's right all the way, and I'm copping out, that spiritual mafia is going to take that fucking currency back in blood. Don't kid yourself. There's a price and a final cost here spiritually, as far as I could tell. I can't prove it. That's my experience. So I'm not hating on motherfuckers. I'm trying to get you right before you create a whole different type of situation for yourself spiritually and karmically that you ain't up for, right? This is where the meekness comes in. The meek shall inherit the earth. It doesn't mean weak and cowardly. It means you stay in your fucking lane and you do what's true and what's right and you surrender the rest. Folks like that will inherit the earth, while the rest of these inauthentic corporate males who don't want to buck up, don't want to show courage and faith, are going to have everything stripped from them. You think we're any different? You think I don't feel fear? Come on, man, I'm human, right? That's the difference between being a coward and brave, though. We all feel fear, then we got to do what's true and what's right, regardless of the consequences. If not, you cease to be a man. Am I hating on motherfuckers because I'm revealing what was revealed to me that I had to see and understand to go to the next level? You didn't think it hurt me to have to look in the mirror and say I'm a fucking punk-ass coward? And I got to live this information, or I better shut the fuck up and go away, because if not, it's going to be bad karma for me. And guess what? These people in this system ain't never going to respect you. And the God of creation ain't going to respect you. And you ain't going to respect yourself subconsciously, if nothing else. At least one thing's for sure, two things for certain. When I show up at court, they don't have to like me. They respect me because they say, Paulie Boy's back. He's continuing to do what his God tells him to do. He has fear in him and he still moves forward. He comes here and presents honorably with himself and his voice and surrenders the rest. We respect that motherfucker. There's no other way it could be. There's no other way it could be. That's the human element, right? So till you get right and do that, you ain't never going to respect yourself. And these people damn sure ain't going to respect you. And every time you go in front of Zimmerman and them, they're going to fry your ass because they know you're riding the fence and playing both sides for your own personal gain. They can read just like I can. That's what makes them great administrators. They can read motherfuckers and they know their heart, just like the devil does, just like the God of creation does. So cut with the victim and cut with the whining and complaining. There's reasons for all this shit and why it's continuing on. Better look into yourself and get right under God, or you're going to continue to choose your own suffering and collect more money and have other people speak for you and whine about the consequences because you ain't leveling up. I know the level up.
And even if you don't get the respect from people in the system, you've been respectable, and it really doesn't matter what they think at the end of the day. Hey, let's talk about DeCastro a little bit. Let's talk about Chile. If you were in that situation with Bork and the same thing happened to you, how would you proceed from that point?
Same thing has happened to me.
Okay.
Same thing has happened to me.
Let's talk about it.
They take me in cuffs and they bring me for a couple days or so. They want an arraignment. Arraignment, obviously, look at the word. They're trying to rein you in and get you in their jurisdiction. And I don't argue with them. They got their beliefs. They got their common practice. The majority of citizens want code, policy, and statute. So, hey, I'm not really mad about it. I get why it's happening to my body at times. That doesn't change the fact that I'm going to put it on record, on paper. This is who and what I am and what I'm not. This is what I was doing, and I have a right to do that, and I'll see you later. And I don't care if you put out warrants or anything like that. I'm going to continue on my life. I'm not interested in you guys' statute, policy, and code. Not interested in you hiring some inauthentic corporate male to speak for me that doesn't know God in and of the world. Not interested in any of it. Not combating it, not trying to overthrow it, not trying to move in on their action and their pimp game on the slaves. It's all by contract and consent, whether you know it or not. I'm just telling you who and what I am, what I'm not, what I'm going to do. And then I stand on that. I surrender the rest. They come and get me at some point, take me over there and don't let me go and say he's absconded and all the rest of these words and terms. We'll have the conversation again. Right? I can't live in fear of what they're going to do to me if I don't follow their nonsense. I'm in more fear of what God's going to do to me and take from me if I don't follow what the fuck is in my heart as true and right. That's the difference. These slaves got more fear of man in their costumes and playing their games and acts and nonsense at court than they got fear of their own conscience and what it's connected to. That's a problem. Scripturally, spiritually, ethically, right?
So let's take it from square one. You're in the cuffs. They take you to the cage. They book you. You're in the cage. And have you ever been before a judge in a courtroom?
Administrator, yeah, over and over again, half a dozen times. I got it to the point a couple times where I got them all on record, backed them down, and they said to me, well, what do you want to do? And a couple times I fumbled the ball because I was, once you start moving and you start getting responses from them and you start seeing you have the power, you get a little bit, comfortable and confident. You go from fearful to comfortable and confident. So I got him all the way to the point where the administrator said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know, because I've never really been in that position before. And he goes, well, do you even want to come back to address this? And at that point, I said, if it's a good expenditure of taxpayer funds, if you think that you want to keep wasting these people's money to have me here to prove you're wrong, we could do that. He goes, okay. He set it for another date. Then I contacted them after and said, I will not be returning to that date, right? Because again, I'm man enough and real enough to admit when you do everything you're supposed to and you get to a certain point and you drop the ball, and that's what it was. The point is, if you watch the Castro and these other people who claim to be law scholars and gurus, they can't interact with these administrators. They don't have the balls and they don't understand how it works. But they want to sell all this fucking product. It doesn't work for me. You got to be able to stand as a man and use common sense, if nothing else, and say, who's that? The people? What? You just put some state actor agent up and called himself the people? Is that Mr. or Mrs. People? We're going to get him to swear in today because I'm pretty sure I'm a man of the people. So I don't know how that person who's an agent of the state can stand up and say they're the people. I'm pretty sure that's me. Do you see the game, Brian? They flipped the script on everybody. So that's where DeCastro's attorney or he himself is supposed to say, objection. Who is this person? Are they going to swear in? I hear a disembodied voice at the court. Are you going to swear in? Because if not, you're calling yourself the people. I don't know what that is other than a fraud. I'm the people. I'm the sovereign, as the court of record defines. That's not my word. That's their word. Court of record defines the sovereign as the man or woman of the people who holds all the power to move the court. That is not a state actor or a public servant, an agent of a corporation. Are you kidding? You guys are duped. You're played. You're pimped out. And then you want to get in there and argue the beliefs and the fraud. You don't need to do that. You just need to point out who and what you are on the record, who or what they are, and show it for what it is. And that's when everyone's going to have their head twist around, like The Exorcist, right? Because they're going to go, oh, man, Brian or Paul or Jose knows what's going on here. You know that the man just stood up and tried to call themselves the people, but didn't swear in because they have no firsthand knowledge of the event. So they have no standing. They have no power to move that court. You got to knock them out of the box based on the basic rules of court from the beginning of time. You got no firsthand knowledge, you got no room to speak. I was there. I'm the one arrested. I have all the firsthand knowledge in the world. Furthermore, I am the people. So I will retain the power of this court to move this court unless another man or woman steps up and puts a claim on file. See how easy that was? But they don't have the knowledge of the balls to really just do that and stand on that and watch everybody go crazy.
Now let me say I don't know. Something just happened to my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little low.
Oh man, what just happened? Oh, there we go. Are you familiar with Ernie Wayne Turgelty? You know who I'm talking about? Okay, so the way he did it, is that the way you would have done it?
Similar, probably not the same, because we all have our own individuated, like our personality way of communicating the truth,
right?
And the way that we understand it. But yeah, I would say from the little that I do know of them, similar, not necessarily the same, right? And same idea though, in essence.
And basically his argument wasn't even really an argument at all. It was just, hey, I'm a man of the land. You got me in here foraging for food. You don't have the right to do that. And he came out really, really hot and heavy against the judge.
Of course not. A corporation can't own anything. This is why your politicians want to keep duping you to believe that corporations are people too. They're more and more and more trying to get corporations and corporate entities to have rights that the men and women once believed they have, that they no longer accept that they have. They're flipping the script completely. So government can't own forests. Government can't own land, right? You need a man or woman to come on record with their word that they have a claim to that property from the beginning of time. A corporate entity with no men or women on record, they only have corporate entities within corporate entities. There is no man or woman within the government who's going to come to open court and swear that they have a claim to own that land. They can only hold it, upkeep it, and maintain it in trust for the men and women they serve. You folks don't understand how this system was meant to work and how still operates if we would just use it correctly. You folks could all have pieces of land. I don't care if they're going to tell you the Homestead Act of 1860 is no longer valid. Bullshit. If some man wrote it then and it applied then it's based in truth and applies now. That's what truth is. It's eternal. Doesn't matter what you all understand or repeat. The truth is the truth, right? So the truth we come to know is that this is our land and God gave it to us to use, upkeep, and maintain and trust, right? The problem is men and women are not on record. So what does the government do? In God we trust. They're going to upkeep, maintain the land for men and women when they show up sometime, someday on record. They haven't yet. So in God, they're holding that land in trust. And it's only because the men and women on this land don't understand their status and standing and how to use the system and law to get what the fuck they want or need in life.
Man,
Donnie Trump knows how, Brian.
You mean Donnie
All you Republicards, real quick, Brian, I got a trigger. All you Republicards need to realize Donnie Trump knows the law. He's not going to tell it to you, but he's going to go use trust to keep all his assets in a certain jurisdiction where he don't have to pay tax. He's not stupid. So like they said, if Paulie Boy's smart, well, Donnie's smart. The problem is he ain't going to tell you how to be a lawful man, how to retain your rights. He's going to pimp on you, just like they all do, for his own benefit and his own gain. Go ahead, Brian.
I thought it was Donnie Chimp, but okay, I guess it's
that's my candidate.
No,
I've run 2 elections in a row. My candidate, which is an orangutan, because I contend if we were to just elect a chimpanzee, everything would immediately get better. Because the chimpanzee would just want some bananas, an enclosure, and to be able to copulate. It's a very simple animal. It's not going to lie, cheat, steal, do wars around the world, embezzle, fraud. Things will get better immediately if you guys would just elect my candidate, Donnie Chimp, the orangutan. Think about it.
Okay, I'm going to play a snippet of what Ernie said here in the court to the judge. But before that, I want to give you a chance to respond to Harry Atkins. He said in the chat room, if Chile hadn't hired an attorney, the court could not have imprisoned him. True or false?
Potentially, to a certain degree, yeah, because when you prove on record you're non-compos mentis and you call yourself a law scholar, they're really going to look at you as bad faith and dishonorable. And when you bring in a legal counsel, a legal society to speak for you, he's essentially working with them to manage your estate. The court of record procedure says, by definition, the attorney has a duty to the court no less than the duty to its client. That means you're hiring this motherfucker thinking he's going to defend you and get you out. No, he's an intermediary. He's there to mediate. He's there to get everybody to be satisfied as best as possible. So what's he going to do? Well, DeCastro, you got off at 180. They could have put you in jail for 2 years. It's a great deal. It's not, right? So, yeah, when you hire someone else to manage your estate, proving you're not the law scholar you claim you are, not only are they going to get jurisdiction to manage your estate, they're going to presume you to be bad faith and dishonorable, just as I do and would. You think there's any difference between my apprehension and the woman sitting on the bench, whether she loves police and is married to one or not? She knows a dishonorable, bad faith motherfucker, especially if she's married to one. Come on, man. It ain't about her and them. It's about you. What do you got on record? How are you presenting? What are you standing on? That's the man is judged by his principles, first and foremost, in a human experience. All the rest of the shit's extras.
Wow. Okay, so as soon as he turned the reins of it, basically, when you're hiring an attorney to appear before a judge in a court, you have abdicated your responsibility and you've turned the keys of your life over to another person.
Right. And that's the cornerstone of bad faith, dishonor, and lack of accountability, responsibility. You run around town filming police, yapping at the mouth, saying, I'm DeCastro, I'm an alpha male, I love getting arrested. Then you want to show up at court and let a motherfucker speak for you and cry? It don't go that way, bro. I don't care if it's court or not. In any venue, it don't go that way. If we meet at the local outlaw biker club, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to say you're running around town with the colors, claiming all this shit, and then when you show up here, you got a whole different energy? And you want to let another motherfucker talk for you? Why didn't you let that attorney talk for you out in the street when you were making all that money? See? They got no problem running their mouth when there's nothing but benefits and privileges. As soon as they got to stand on something and deal with sacrifice and consequences, oh, bring in the inauthentic corporate male to do the talking for me. Nobody respecting that. From any strata of life and society, nobody's respecting that. You can't ignore that. I don't care if you like me or not. That's common fucking sense.
So when you're sitting in that courtroom, the answer is act as take responsibility for yourself, whatever actions they think you committed, and act pro se.
Like they say on the street, Brian, keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. Either keep the energy you had in court on the street or keep the energy you had on the street in court. Don't switch up on everybody. Just be who and what you are and carry that over in every venue. Then you might get respect.
So there was a mixture. Let's stay with the Chile de Castro thing. So there was a mixture there because he basically kept the same energy and then apologized for it when he called the cop a pig and gave the thumbs up to Zimmerman when she was saying, I guess you hate all cops in the United States. So he was doing two things there. He was keeping the energy he had on the street, and because he hired the, as you say, inauthentic corporate male, he was walking in hypocrisy.
And the point is, that's not the energy for court, Brian. I don't know you.
Right, but is that right there, what I said?
Well, yeah, you're right. But the point is that's why I'm saying keep the same energy that you have at court that it wound up as in the street, because you got to humble yourself. The reality is, if you really ain't about it and you're not going to go in that court and say thug life like Tupac and go do your time, you're going to cry on the phone every day or cry at court, you got no business presenting like that in any venue because you're faking the funk. So be a little bit more humble, have some humility, understand the dynamic, apply yourself correctly, and then surrender the outcome in consequences and sacrifice. Because you know what comes with this. Bro, I told that motherfucker and all these guys years ago, you need to downsize and you need to live within your means. I see how you guys live. You ain't ready. Then when you want to have to go do a 180 that you didn't expect, that's obvious when you're in activism and doing this, especially the way you do it, popping all that shit. You know that time's going to come. You should be preparing for that. It shouldn't be a shock to you. You shouldn't be clawing and scrapping and scraping when the time comes. If I got to go do a 180 right now, you ain't going to hear me on the phone whining and crying. I'm going to be doing sit-ups and push-ups and focusing on my conscious and awareness and my faith practice and bearing witness and testimony and doing ministry to drug addicts and criminals who need me more than anybody inside of there, right? You set yourself up in your life to live within your means, to do what your life purpose is and surrender the rest. I'm not in debt. I don't have monthly bills. I could go away right now. I'll have land and everything I need when I come out and then some. That's living within your means and living in abundance. You folks are living by your own meanings and you're living in loss and lack and abandonment and fraud. It's not equity. It's not trust. It's not faith. And it's why you're going to continue to generate suffering for yourself and others here. And that's why I have to speak so loudly about it. I'm not going to let these motherfuckers convince other people to buy these fucking products and act like them and wind themselves up in a civil war or having to do prison time and then whining and crying and acting like they didn't know what's up. You want to do this walk, you do what's true and what's right, you understand the dynamic, you speak for yourself, you surrender the rest, and you don't cry about the outcome. The Christed being had to go to prison over and over again and be killed eventually for what's true and what's right. Why the fuck do you think you're going to be any different is my question. A lot of arrogance in these motherfuckers, a lot of ego, too much for my own good. If you're going to be arrogant and egotistical, you better have damn good results. So there's no reason for that.
So you don't have any bills? You don't have a water bill, electric bill, or you're completely 100% off grid?
At this point, yeah.
Do you grow your own? Where do you get your food?
I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, at this point, you know, and you'll have folks say that I live off other people and all the rest of it. I'm staying with a woman right now, right? There's property back where I just came from. I have everything I need and then some to get more property. I have the RV on that land. Right. And I'm just kind of at this point, you know, I was doing what I was doing and kind of preparing over there. And then I met a woman and, you know, last year or so, I kind of been sharing space with her, you know, helping her to get out of debt. She's got a new piece of land now in the forest. You know, she's going to put a modular home on it and be debt free for the first time and live in paradise and grow on the land, essentially. So, you know, that's kind of what I've been doing along with doing the broadcast every day. Which of course, you know, has become a livelihood on some level. So yeah, man, I mean, again, it's not about like folks not working or, becoming a broadcaster and being able to live off that, or staying with other people. It's like ultimately you dedicate yourself to whatever you do and whatever you work on, whatever your passion is in life or whatever your job is. But you just correct the status and standing, right? I don't get down on people for having an ethic and working hard. I have to do that to show up 500 days straight just to do a broadcast, even if it's not technically work. So we should work hard. We should save. We should reinvest. We should be financially free and secure. And also we should live within our means. Right.
Yeah,
and
I would just say that a worker is worthy of his wages, which comes out of the pages of the New Testament. But if you are broadcasting the truth, if you're disseminating knowledge, and that knowledge is helping people, I would say that that's probably some of the most worthy work you could possibly do.
And I've seen that where in my life I've actually done better. I have a very low standard. I'm not college educated. I've pretty much done low level, blue collar, quote unquote, menial jobs all my life. For various times and places. But I'm probably doing now better when it comes to value than I ever had working, for other people in a system. And I attribute that to the law of the universe, which is trust, and equity, and faith. If you do what's true and what's right, and you show up for yourself and others every day, and you give it your all, right, and you help make a change in others, you're guaranteed value back. I couldn't see it any other way. Right. So nowhere in there does it require us working with corporations. If anything, it requires us working with and on other folks.
I'm gonna play this real quick. I'm just play a snippet of Ernie in this courtroom talking to this judge.
In violation of 457302, you were also charged on the same date with resisting arrest in violation of 457301 of the Montana Code.
Those men were charged by me right back by staging an overthrow of the Constitution of 1789, an overthrow of the Bill of Rights, an overthrow of my rights to forage for food as a natural living person who was in hunger. I was searching for something to put in my stomach, as I am recognized to be allowed to do by universal law. That's nothing to do with your corporate fiction. They violated everything, and furthermore, for your knowledge, they violated Judge Holly Brown's Title 26 United States Code ruling, which I went before her and prevailed on 21st March 2011. EPO 9-58A is the case number wherein she evidenced that I am not a taxpayer because I am not a federal citizen. Federal law trumps state law at every turn. I have 9 judge rulings to that end.
Now, what do you think about that statement? Federal law trumps state law at every turn.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, ultimately, this is about inherent hierarchical power and value systems. And in every organization, there's a hierarchy. So, of course, the federal code is supposed to be written as objectively as possible, pursuant to the spirit of the law that is encoded in the constitutional contract that we are not a party of, right? You don't get your rights from the Constitution. You're not even a party to it. The way that it works is they swear to it. So the whole reason that they swear to it is so they're bound by it. Right? We get our rights directly from God. We're not a party to that Constitution. Every agent on this land is supposed to be a party to it because they're supposed to swear to it. That's how we keep them bound by their duties and obligations and not getting out of line. Because we always know what they're going to do. It's been the same game over and over again. So yeah, technically, if everything's working properly, the federal code is supposed to be a codification supposedly for slaves to understand better the spirit of the law that is encoded in that constitutional contract that these agents swear to, right? But again, anytime that any code anywhere at any time is written incongruent, right, and not pursuant to the spirit of the law that is encodified in that contract we call the Constitution, it becomes null and void and illegitimate. It's just like when the feds, right? It's not USC, it's not US code to my knowledge, but the feds supposedly through legislation have deemed marijuana to be illegal. They say, well, you can't have it and you can't sell it. Well, what did the states do with their states' rights? They said, no, this is a pursuance of happiness issue. This is a medical issue. This is a religious issue. So we're going to grow reefer and we're going to let adults trade it because the feds, nor can anybody in any costume, actors, deem the activity of men and women to be illegal or unlawful if there's no loss, injury, and harm occurred, and it's a pursuit of happiness / medical / religious issue. This is the same thing as the face coverings. It's the same idea. They could give you advisory code if it's not pursuant to the spirit of the law, that this is of and by and for the people, pursuit of happiness, absent some loss, injury, or harm, or direct threat. That's how even the U.S. Code defines it. You have to have the preponderance of what's called a direct threat. You have to be able to establish a direct threat. You can't do that just saying we think everybody's sick or there's something in the air. It's not going to cut it, right? So again, they're using statute, policy, and code ubiquitously to overwrite common sense and common law to the point where now, just yesterday, one of the cops said, common law is not a thing. It never existed. And it's like, you don't even know what to say after that. It's like all of this system and foundation of law is set up on what we call the common law, which is more of a philosophical spirit of the law and common sense more than anything.
What cop was it that said that? I'm not aware of that.
I don't even know the guy's name. One of these videos I played just yesterday that, you know, another egotistical, prideful clown who thinks that they know how the law works because they went to some institution, right? It's like these people don't even know how to think properly and feel properly and live properly. But I'm supposed to believe they understand legal lawful.
So when Ernie says federal law trumps state law at every turn, how does that square with, say, the 10th Amendment?
The 10th Amendment specifically, I don't have it committed to memory. My understanding of the 10th through 14th Amendment, the loose understanding I have is public safety clause. The idea that if they can establish a direct threat to the public, that they have an ability to use that advisory code to maintain order. So again, if they can't establish a direct threat, but they're becoming a direct threat to the individual, especially if the individual, quote unquote individual, that's a whole other word. If the individual colloquially is on record as a man or woman on the land, then they retain their natural rights and the status of protected class. Right. So that's the whole point of that U.S. code and that federal code, is to refer to the idea of the protected class, to revert the locals and the state folks back to their obligations, right, as upholders of the law and the individual's rights. So that's why everything has to be pursuant to that spirit / letter of that law. Because we know if not, they're just going to say you can't hunt, you can't fish, you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't copulate without following our statute, policy, and code. And we go, the whole point of why this is America is if you're not going to do what's true and what's right and follow that original contract that you're bound by, then we can alter, abolish / deem you to be illegitimate, right? I'm not looking to alter, abolish. I'm just going to put on record for whoever administrator is going to hear the case, who knows the law better than any policy enforcement, because I got half a dozen of them on record with me saying, we don't know the law. We've been doing this 30 years, but we're not law professors. Take it up with the courts. Okay, I will. And I'm going to put it on record over and over again that you guys are way out of bounds. And the only reason it's continuing is because the majority of my neighbors don't know who and what they are and what they're not and how to move correctly.
So at this point, we're not even talking about whether the Constitution is legitimate or illegitimate. We're talking about human beings who took an oath to make sure that they upheld the rights that are found at least in the Bill of Rights, correct?
Yeah, I mean, this is conceptual.
The reason I ask you that is because, you know, I don't know, have you read any books by Lysander Spooner?
I've heard the name. I may have heard some quotes here and there, but I have not read the.
One of the things he said was, whether the Constitution be one thing or another, this much is certain: it's either authorized such a tyrannical government as we have, or it's been powerless to stop it. In either case, it's unfit to exist, because basically it's just a piece of paper that a lot of people like to step on. Would you agree with that assessment?
Right. The piece of paper is an original contract that we've laid down as the formation in order to keep these folks in line and to keep the republic, if we can keep it.
Right.
We've lost it because of democratic ideals, propaganda, and the spiritual fall of man once again into a dark state of beingness.
Right, but they also like to change that contract, like in the Bill of Rights, the first 10th Amendment, first 10 amendments, and the amendments to the Constitution, like the 14th Amendment, creates a citizen class where we're subject to the jurisdiction thereof. You wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see that as anywhere near legitimate, correct?
Again, this is it comes down to what will they do, whatever you let them. In again, Brian, I'm the ghetto guy, right? I'm like, my channel's pimp on slave. So I don't hate the player. I like they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm not going to hate either. It's a fascinating game. I contend we need it in order to know objectively right from wrong and become faithful again if we ever were completely, right? So, hey, you want to like go in there, write something down, convince everybody that it's real and get them to act it out? Well, great game, great simulation. Oh,
Right.
again, if you act like a broken hoe, well, then when a pimp meets you, he's going to pimp on you. That's the rules of pimping. You don't pimp on the regular man or woman who knows who and what they are, what they're not. But if you show up and say, I'm a hoe, well, then there's nothing to do but pimp on you. At some point, it's like, for God, we need this process. So you could say it's technically illegitimate and fraud, but spiritually, I think it's absolutely what we need right now. And it's going to lead to what we're seeing right here, which is conversations that lead to conversions, that lead to awakenings, that lead to change, to understanding.
Yep. That's exactly what we want. That's the reason for these live streams and these videos. Otherwise, it's all a lost cause anyway. And just for the algorithm records, the 10th Amendment says the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it, that's the Constitution, to the states, or reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And the spirit of the letter of that law, the spirit of that letter is that if one state became so oppressive, like if Florida became too oppressive, then people could go to Georgia or Alabama to escape that oppression. Whereas if you have a federal blanket of authority subjecting the citizens to servitude, they could escape to another region. Whereas, if you're under the federal jurisdiction, that's not going to happen.
Right. But this is the idea in 8th grade. They told us about checks and balances. That if we're going to call this a united endeavor, again, this is where we have the overlay of the corporation. But if we're just going to talk what we believe it is, if we have a united endeavor, well, then we're all united under that spirit of that law.
Right.
That's not what's happened. Right. We're all united under the propaganda of what we call law, which is statute, policy, and code, and fascism, the merger of state and corporate powers. So the Constitution and the rights from God that it protects, doesn't grant them to you, it protects that, are only as good as the people who can ascertain the law of God and live it.
Right.
If not, what good is the damn document?
Right.
It's just like the Bible, man. What good is the Bible if a motherfucker can't come to have the experience with God? Every time he comes to a point in life, he's got to stop and open up the book and look in there to have the experience that's written about. It's redundant. It's superfluous. It's more than what's necessary at this point. This is our problem. We need constitutions and books and all the rest of it because we've not lived a first-hand full experience with that force we call God and truth. We're so pimped out and deceived and delusional that we got to keep going to deceivers and corrupt corporations and frauds and remix books in order to know who and what we are. That's not how it happens, right? So again, you can't solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. It doesn't matter what I give modern day man. They will always continue to create their slavery because as the mind and heart goes, the man follows. The change is only going to happen from within, right? Be the change you want to see in the world. As within, so without, as above, so below. Once enough individuals, as you saw yesterday, Brian, I sent you the thing. They just said, we're no longer pulling people over for traffic infractions and we're definitely not bringing you to jail. Is it a coincidence or is it because all of us finally, certain ones of us said, we're out. We're not complying. We're not obeying. We know the difference between legal and lawful, and we're going to continue to do this. You're going to have to keep locking us up. And at some point they go, yeah, we're going to have to change the way we approach this. That's how this change happens. You got to put yourself on the gears of this system and you got to stand on what's true and what's right and be on the right side of history. If you don't, it's probably going to get worse, or you're just going to sacrifice folks like me in hopes it'll get better, in which case you trick yourself out of an authentic experience. Do you want to be a real man or woman here or not? There's nothing else to do as far as I'm concerned in this simulation.
Amen. And just to echo what you said, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks and the body reacts, and whatever's in your heart is what's going to be fleshed out in your daily life. Let's just a couple more minutes here with Ernie.
Turn him up. Are you all the way up on sound?
Yeah, it's all the way up. Jeez,
a bit low.
Yeah. Can you hear it okay? Kind of?
Send it again.
I am not
full send, bro.
the living man, and I have the right to forage for.
I can barely make it out. It's a bit low.
All right. But you're here on different charges.
That
This is not
what's
Holly
stands.
Brown's courtroom.
Ma'am, you can argue this all day long. You're operating on corporate fiction.
I'm telling you, you're here on some charges which will file in 3 books.
I do not
Number
understand
one.
those charges.
Number one, you keep interrupting me, and I'm going to charge you with contempt, and you'll go to
All
jail.
contempt of court is spelled C-O-double-N. I know about Connie. That's never.
I love this guy. You know what? Maybe on another live stream, can you guys let me know if you guys in the chat room can hear? Paul's having trouble hearing it, and I am too. It's real low, but I've got it all the way up on this YouTube channel. Let's see if I can find another.
You know what it reminds you of, Brian? There's a point in time in every man's life, whether it's with their mother or father, that they try to use the same false authority, or maybe at one point true authority they had when they were younger, and at some point you just stop going for it. And at that point, you realize all in one moment, you never had to go with it from the beginning, right? Like there comes a point in every man's life where it doesn't matter what your mother or father's telling you. If you don't stop talking right now, X, Y, Z, yeah, I'm going to do whatever it is I please now because I'm grown. No offense. Don't take it personal. You should be proud of this moment, right? If you look at it that way, you start to understand the power dynamic of what's going on here. Only because you keep submitting do they keep believing they have authority over you and keep giving you the consequences. You know, ask any teacher or parent or whoever with me at some point. There came a point where they stopped giving me consequences because I just wasn't going to yield. I'm going to do what I want. The consequences don't scare me anymore. And you're not going to tell me when I can and can't express myself in open court where this is by and of and for the people. See, that's the difference. And it's not about being belligerent and combative and contemptuous either. It's about understanding the true dynamic of what we're here to do and what's going on here today. Right. So
let me ask you, what's been the biggest hurdle that you've had to overcome in correcting your status? What was the most trouble that entered your life by people who believe the corporate fiction nonsense that you've had to deal with trying to unplug from this matrix?
I mean, I don't look at it that way. I choose to look at it as this is what's made me who and what I am and continuing to make me. So I don't look at it as a detriment. I look at it as putting my time in and making my bones, so to speak. In any society, you kind of got to do the dirty work and have bad shit happen to you or around you in order to make who and what you are, right?
Right.
Kind of like the code of men. It's kind of like, you know, like the mob in a sense. But I mean, if you were going to characterize it like how the average person would, I'd probably say getting the car taken a bunch of times, getting all the property taken, guns, you know, having to navigate that and just push to get that back. But ultimately, I'd have to tell you that I guess the most trying thing as a human, right, as a man, I still have some level of feelings at times or disappointment. I think the most trying thing is realizing that the majority of folks around me don't seem like they ever want to or are going to engage in this, right? It's like it wouldn't be as much of a problem if it's really not a problem to me because I feel like it's what my purpose is, what God put me here to do. But I wouldn't feel as much about it if I had my friends, my family, my father, just the few folks in my life or even on here actively doing more to be the change and walking with me, right? At times I feel kind of alone. And I suspect that also is part of this journey and what it's supposed to be. Like the Christed being probably felt alone at times, right? And that's what pushed him to grow in faith. Because the circle at the end of the day is so small. It's you and whatever that creative force is and your conscience. Everything might leave you. You might have to give everyone and everything up to be given everything back in truth and faith. So, yeah, I have to take a philosophical and stoic approach to my life, even especially when things are going quote unquote bad or wrong. Because I just presume in those moments, this is what the fuck is making me for the future. Adversity makes men, prosperity makes monsters.
Something I've wanted to ask you for a while and watching a lot of your videos. What do you mean by Christed being? Where does that term come from? What does it mean?
A conscious, aware being who has some level of self-awareness and awareness of conscience and the law within the universe and a connection to life in the universe and that law.
Like a being apart from humanity?
Yeah, a being who's in the world but not of it, right? My kingdom is not of this world. I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. I don't follow the ways of the world. From the beginning of time, from me being here, I have not followed the ways of the world. I've been at odds with all forms of authority. Because to me, it's illegitimate. You can't ever tell me legitimately what to do and not do and substantiate it. That's what your will is. We're here to do God's will, not your will or my will or anyone else's. So when I state Christ a being, I just mean a being who has awareness of self and therefore knows God, and then everything in the universe to some degree true enough. If not, they at least have the intuition that leads them to that. Right? So it ain't about the whole truth. I don't think anybody has the whole truth. It's about true enough.
Well, let me. You know what? We're gonna finish this thing with Ernie, yeah, because I want to get to the part where he really starts going off on the judge. But and then I want to say something else I think is important. So let's watch some of this.
Judges, I only understand universal law and the right to live,
Well,
to live in peace, and to live as I need to.
You pled not guilty in this.
I never plead. Animals plead. Sound like bah, oink oink.
I have a paper with your signature on it, sir.
It says prime evidence standing right through it. You bring forward all natural forms of evidence that I'm not prime evidence. I am the living soil. The dirt, the water, and the air has its own voice, does it not? It all supports forms of life, does it not? I am a part of that life. I am not your corporate fiction.
Sir,
Do not danger me.
you're here today on an omnibus hearing. You've already pled not
I am
guilty.
here by special visitation to see to it that you do not danger my natural living man's name.
Are you prepared
That's why
to tell
I'm
the
here.
court if you wish to go to trial on this matter?
This is a trial. Tell
No,
me
this
it's not.
isn't a trial.
Here's my
This is
jury
an
of my
omnibus
peers.
hearing, sir.
You cannot produce a jury of my peers because all juries are selected from a pool of registered voters, and the instant a person registers to vote, their natural ability as a peer to comprehend natural law has been dissolved and turned into fiction. There cannot be raised a jury of my peers. It cannot be done.
I told the same thing to the administrator at Colorado State Court. He finally got to a point with me. He goes, well, you could take this to trial if you want. We're going to bring in a jury of your peers. I go, what does that consist of? He goes, 12 United States citizen slaves. I go, I got to stop you right there. Doesn't make any sense. You're going to bring in 12 folks who voted for Joe Biden to make a decision objectively on right from wrong? I don't think that's going to work out too well for me. Right? So they don't know where to go. When you just use common sense and point out the obvious that's not so obvious to the majority of folks who just go along to get along, glazed over. Like, yeah, how are you going to go get 12 people who are like me, who can understand right from wrong objectively, legal versus lawful, natural rights versus privileges, to make a determination of whether I actually did wrong or you just all believe I did wrong based on what school told you and TV told you, right? You're dealing with mentally, emotionally ill people who listen to the TV. It's really what this comes down to, living a collective hallucination.
So, okay, so you've unearthed something else here. So what's your view on the concept of jury nullification? It's nonsense?
Ultimately, man, God is my judge. And unless you're going to bring in someone who I live in a community with, who is directly impacted by my actions, who can make a determination on what I did was common for me and the common practice of that land, right? The law of the land is the law of the people who live on the land.
Mm-hmm.
There are lands when you go there where it's culturally accepted that we're going to cut off a woman's genitals because God told us to. Now, you bring that person to another land, they're going to say, this is insane. This is criminal.
Right.
Right. So on some level, the common law becomes common practice. Whatever the people accept on that land to be true for them becomes essentially the law of that land, whether it's legitimate, objectively, logical, moral, ethical, or not. Right. So that's kind of, what we have here is we got a bunch of folks who've been trained to believe stuff that are going to be brought in to make a judgment, which is ultimately God's, on a man's behavior that might be common practice for him. Right? There's plenty of times in life where we have a different in ethics, but no loss, injury, or harm is caused. And you can't claim somebody did a crime because they don't have the same ethic compass that you do. Right? On that level, 1,000 years ago, you could bring in 12 people and have somebody stoned because they decided to lay down with the same sex. I don't buy into that. Right. So we're going to bring in 12 people to be the judge that God is, to take life that's not ours to take, that God gave, because someone doesn't have the same ethical compass as us. Right. Absent any loss, injury, or harm or non-consensual behavior, no man or woman has an ability to rule or judge over anybody else and condemn them to a fate that is not authentically prescribed by what we call God in the universe and fate objectively, apparently.
And to echo that, it's no measure of good mental health to be considered well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society. So if society is profoundly sick, why would you want a jury of your peers presiding over your case, whatever you call it?
Oh, I have no problem. If you want to bring in 12 folks who understand common law, the difference between legal and lawful, understand a republic versus democratic communism and fascism, you want to bring in 12 people like that, they'll make a determination all day, every day. Paulie Boy did no wrong. As a matter of fact, he's a leader in our community and in our society. And not only do we not want him harmed, we want him to be given commendations. You know?
So this concept of jury nullification is basically self-defeating, because you're not going to find those kinds of people. If you don't even have people like that in your zone of influence who could vouch for your stellar reputation, then you're not going to find them out in society.
Well, this is why they're perfect at creating societies where folks are disintegrated. Because you and your neighbors don't talk. You and your coworkers don't decide policy or live by the common law and commune together or converse about these things. So if you're completely independent and disintegrated, so much so, many of these folks are married to folks who don't even live like them. They're sleeping with the enemy. How many folks hit me up and go, my significant other who I have a child with is a complete slave? Well, you picked them. What were you doing? What were you selecting for in the mating process, right? So again, when you have a disintegrated community, you have disintegrated selves, either one coming before the other or vice versa, right? So this is why I say this is a back to the land, quote unquote, movement, non-movement. You got to get back on the land, live within your means, be debt-free, self-sufficient, and surround yourself with like and kind folks to commune with in your community. Then when you get hauled into local court or whatever court, you're going to be judged in the system by your peers. Right. Go ahead. Let's bring in the community of Unslavia to judge if Brian or whoever did something wrong and we're going to take his property or his body. Of course not. If he didn't cause any loss, injury, and harm, and he doesn't know a debt, then he's free to leave. Free to stay, free to leave, like they like to say.
All right, let's continue on with Ernie here, because this is almost over.
Excuse me for just a moment.
No way. Get back here and finish this. Hey, get back here and finish this.
I love
The judge has left the courtroom. There you go.
Abandoned ship.
There is nobody in this courtroom. The judge has walked out. I said no excuse.
Everybody up and out.
I'm not letting you
Up and out. Up and out. Up and out. All the man.
Thank you.
I think that's pretty much it. I think they all go out to their cars and they just leave, but he gets arrested later. And I don't remember. Do you remember the results of the case?
Oh, I don't even know if I ever got the complete results. I mean, to me, oftentimes the results don't matter as much as getting who and what you are on record and surrendering the rest. They can say and do whatever they want at this point.
Yeah.
Come down to discretion.
Hey, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question about the term that people constantly throw around. And I think Artie did it to you on Artie's Corporate Fiction. He called you or alluded to the fact that you might be a sovereign citizen. What's your comment about that?
Well, I mean, obviously what we've come to know that I've repeated over and over again till essentially, I mean, I'm sure others have too. I'm not laying claim to it, but it's now become the common knowledge in the quote unquote auditor community that these folks are the sovereign citizens, because they keep claiming that they're above the law of the land and the law of God, and that if they just put on a costume, they can do whatever they want. So ironically, once again, in the projection deception simulation, all the people calling us that are actually doing what they're calling us, right? That's that projection thing, that narcissism thing that a lot of these folks like to do. You know, you got to watch that. So yeah, it turns out all the folks who are like doing whatever they want and profiteering and not upholding the law of the land and rights are the actual sovereign citizens.
Well, I wanted to keep this at an hour and a half, because that's basically the attention span of America as far as, viewing live streams all the way through the beginning. I think this is such an important thing that people need to watch this. And I want to have you back because I want to have more discussions on this. I appreciate you. I love you. I appreciate all the criticism because it's going to make me a better person. I'm not where I want to be, but hopefully I'm a better person tomorrow than I was today and on into the future. So that's the only way this is going to happen. I don't like to have these live streams where there's no point to it, where people aren't going to learn from it and their lives aren't going to be changed. I think that you said a lot of life-changing things in this video. How do you want to end this?
I think we're good to go, Brian, man. I respect you. You know, you kept it real with me. You shoot straight. regardless of disconnects at times or misunderstandings. I think that we're all here in these communities bonded by a common purpose, a common meaning, a common principles and value system. Whether or not we're living that all the way individually, that's the judgment on the man. We all individually got to look at ourselves and make a decision on that in conscience. So, yeah, man, I don't judge you. I don't condemn you. I'm just here to be a leader in self. And if by proxy I can help to lead others back to themselves and to a more true enough state of beingness and record, well, then in a sense, indirectly, I'm helping to save souls, right? That's what this is all about. Yep. I don't call myself a Christian, but if you look at it archetypally, what we're talking about here, it's bearing witness and testimony in order to save my and others' souls from what we're on record as being a part of and co-creating from and with and through, right?
And that is true. And in my view, that is truly the righteous action. And I don't think it's my view. It's the universal view that if you act like that, you are truly being a righteous being.
You got to be like that. If you're not doing that and holding to that, you will undo yourself, is what I've learned. The same way an addict has to go back to treatment centers to talk to other addicts about what he's living in his life and all the perils and challenges. That's what keeps you on the path. Holding yourself and others accountable and showing up for yourself and others and speaking this truth and this experience and then surrendering the rest and seeing what we all do with it, right? So I think we almost need to do that and be a part of that in order to keep ourselves on the straight and narrow and level it up.
And if you're watching this on this live stream, whatever platform you're on, X or Facebook or whatever, this is Paul Unslaved. He's got 2 channels right now. It's Proper Instruction Motivates People. I am subscribed to his channel. I'm on Google Chrome, and I'm not subscribed to anybody in Google Chrome. And the next one is Paul Unslaved, which has 21,000 subscribers. And he has been algorithmically, artificially suppressed into the bottom of the trash can, basically, as far as YouTube is concerned. Paul, but at the end of this, give me the links that people can contact you at, the Cash Apps and all that kind of stuff, and I'll make sure that I put them under all the videos. But where's the best way for people to contact you or reach out to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have the at Pimp Unslaved channel now, secondary channel.
Okay,
probably the best option. And then, of course, I have the Telegram, which also seem to be altered in numbers. People join every day, yet I lose numbers every day. So not too sure what to make of that. But yeah, that's where we're home base right now. Proper Instruction Motivates People. And yeah, we'll take it one day at a time.
All right, guys. Hey, hang out with me real quick, Paul. I'm going to end this live stream, but I want to keep talking with you. All right, guys. All right. I appreciate you, Paul. Thanks for joining. Guys, thanks for joining this live stream. We will have Paul on again. I can promise you that, as long as I have life in my lungs. And thanks for joining. If you haven't already, share this video and like this video and overcome all the algorithmic suppression, because, man, let's face it, people do not want you to know this truth, and we know why. So, Paul, thanks a lot. We will see you guys in the live stream. Take care.
All right. What a fantastic interview, man. Wow. That was epic. What's up, Sean?
Hanging, man. How you doing? Great stuff.
Oh, okay. So I got 2 of you up here. Is this what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I got one open on browser and one open on the phone.
Okay. All right. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Unslavius to go live, and we'll portal on over. Oh, there we go. So I guess I'll end this with a musical thing. Hold on a sec. I'll just pause this, and there we go. What's up, dude? All right, for everybody who's still watching right now, we got OTW Music and Art tonight, karaoke night, whatever, you know the drill, talent show. It's the music thing I'm doing once a week now, so everybody make sure you're subbed up to OTW Music and Art. Obviously, I'll be restreaming over here in OTW News for anybody who wants to contribute via Super Chat or whatever, and want to have any special requests and stuff like that. So be sure to be here tonight at OTW Music and Art, and OTW News will be broadcasting live for a music talent show. And what was I going to say? Something like I guess see it. Oh yeah, 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock Eastern time, which I believe is, I don't know what time everywhere else in the world, but Sean knows what time it is. It's like 8 o'clock. At his place is pretty much 8 o'clock, right? So when I say 8 o'clock, he knows that 8 o'clock we're going live doing music, right, Sean? So how's that laptop of yours doing? How's your sound doing? How can we troubleshoot you right now before you come on over this evening, sir? Unless if you're busy and you're working or something.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. I'll give you a few seconds even. So he's even thinking of ending it with a. I was wondering, why is my sound seemingly testing 1 2? All right, okay, sounds good.
Okay, sorry about that. I was talking to doctor. What were you asking me? My bad.
I was saying, are you going to be able to have your laptop working correctly? I was like, can we troubleshoot that right now so that you can come in and do some like awesome karaoke? Is there any way we can do that? Or are you like,
why not?
All right. So what do you have set up to do like karaoke on your laptop? Like, how do you do that?
What do you mean, recording
Because
wise, or?
the way I'm thinking about it is, you don't necessarily have to put the karaoke up on screen. You know what I'm saying? Just have the music play and share the music, like the audio. What's this? OTW tell him yeah, whatever. I saw that comment.
Wildlife school. Okay, so tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do.
Do you have a mic plugged into your laptop?
I do not, but this is what my sound sounds like without headphones. Oh wow! All right.
Right, but you need to have headphones. You absolutely have to have headphones on.
Okay, how about this? This is without. This is on a phone, not on the laptop. This is probably better, right?
Yeah, maybe, but how are you going to play the music?
I mean, I could just, if my sound if my sound's that good, then I don't need headphones essentially. Unless there's feedback, reverb, or any of that kind of shit. But I mean, this is a decent phone, dude. It's like a Google Pixel.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how we're going to have you sing over a song.
Depends what song it is.
Well, it's because it's usually when you're doing karaoke, like by yourself, you use your laptop and then you just sing without a mic, right?
Yes, usually. I switch. I switch back and forth, kind of to see, what works better. And
you know what I don't understand is how come you haven't ordered from Amazon a freaking broadcasting kit, which costs like something like $40 American.
Oh, you mean like that one you showed me that one time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like you would have had a mic and everything plugged right into the laptop. It's like fucking simple as, no more sound issues, no more, no more nothing. Everything's in there. It's a $40 setup.
Yeah.
Comes with the mic and everything.
What is it called again? Like the specific? Can you send me the link again? I think you had dropped it one time.
That is like so old, man. That was so long ago.
Yeah, that was like fucking half a year ago, probably.
Just check it out. Broadcaster.
Mic
and soundboard or something.
Yeah, let me see. Oh damn. Paul started. Let me see.
I think. It's called. I think TikTok setup or something, or YouTuber setup or something. It's a stupid name, but it's like it's so Like, it works. I've seen it work. I've actually seen the product. It functions perfectly.
YouTuber broadcaster.
Okay, so
Mike
it's like you're not like just buying something and you think you're gonna receive some kind of piece of shit. No. It actually works. So.
But wasn't there a specific like one? I think there was two that you said were that I remember you recommended that you were like a 4 decent. Can't remember. Nutty. That's OBS mics. Blue Yeti again. I wish that was fucking Blue Yeti mics. Hyper X Solocast? Man, I'm trying to remember the fucking name. Sure setup? No, that one's probably expensive. That shit looks bougie.
Did you find anything?
I just looked up YouTuber broadcaster mic setup, but I don't see.
Try TikTok.
Let me add TikTok. TikTok.
Yeah, no, don't add TikTok. Just like reduce it to like TikTok, soundboard and mic, something like that. Something really short. You'll find it.
Soundboard and mic setup.
Well, not setup, just soundboard and mic. Okay. Keep it simple.
All right, let's see. TikTok, soundboard and mic. I brought up a soundboard, like my instance.com, you know. TikTok, live studio, voice changer, and soundboard. That just sounds like a fucking app.
No, dude, did you just type that in Google?
I'm on Bing, I think. Yeah, I'm on Bing.
No, it's type it in Amazon.
Oh,
doofus.
Wow, I'm retarded. I might be retarded. I'm kind of retarded. Right. All right. A Labs FX Caster Podcast Equipment Bundle. Yeah, let me just go to Amazon. Amazon Podcast Equipment Bundle BM800 recording. That's a shitty rating though. Yeah, this one's got a 4.4. Might be better. I got my grandma on some Marinol. You know about Marinol?
Nope.
It's synthetic, like THC essentially. It's supposed to like stimulate appetite. Help with pain and dizziness and nausea and shit. She has all that. Holy crap! This one's almost 200. No sir. Let me see.
$40, dude. It's supposed to be $40. The mic, the soundboard, the wires. I think it even comes with a pair of headphones. I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, this one. Let me see this one. This is troubleshooting hour.
Yeah, it's troubleshooting hour, ladies and gentlemen. Go on over to Proper Instruction Motivates People. We're just checking out Sean's shit so we can have a decent Sean have a decent sound. Even when he shows up on broadcast with a great mic and some earphones and shit, and no feedback noise and shit, and he'll actually be able to use his laptop for something.
What a fucking thought. TikTok, soundboard, and mic. Let's see, TikTok. It's like a mini little soundboard, right?
Right, it's small. It's a box. It's no bigger than like it's about.
Here we go. Okay.
It's about this size.
Yep. Okay, I see 50, 40, 40.
There you go. Click add to cart and buy it and have it by tomorrow. There you go. That's it right there, man. That's the one.
That one? It's got a 4 out of 5. That's decent. Damn, it's got a lot of fucking ratings, dude. 4,500 ratings.
I've seen it work for myself, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, it really works well. The $40 kit is enough, man.
Yeah, that's probably the best one because it has the most ratings, so it must be popular for a reason, I would think. Then again, a lot of popular shit is shit. Some of the most popular stuff is the worst shit, but in this case, maybe there's something to it. There's so many fucking to choose from.
if I was to start, let's say we're starting to broadcast and do like YouTube shit and whatever, TikTok stuff, that's what I would start with. If I had nothing, all the shit I have is equipment that I've been fucking already collecting over the years. So it's not like, and I'm still missing, like, I'd love to have a Rodecaster Pro 2, which is like $900, but I guess I have to wait till I have enough money to. Be nice if people would contribute so the broadcast could get better.
Yeah, come
because
on, guys.
every
Support the
cent
grift, dude.
that people would give here, I'd actually put right back into the broadcast.
Yeah, support the grift, non-grift. Yeah, I mean every penny I've made from quote unquote podcasting, broadcasting, non-podcasting, broadcasting has gone into streaming, and actually a lot of it is still saved. So a lot of it hasn't even been invested yet. So it will go into this. I've been pushing it off for a long time. Admittedly, I've been procrastinating. I've been kind of Jewy, I've been kind of Jewy as well. Oh man, that one's pretty badass. $70. Yeah, I think I'll just start with the simple setup though. It's got a good rating. It's $40 fucking dollars. I also have to set up, something like a Venmo, a Zelle, something like that. Yeah. Hold on one sec. That one right there, top right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my peeps got Prime, so use the Prime too. Look at that, 33% off.
There you go, man. Just grab the fucking thing. You're going to pay it like $25, $30. It's going to be super cheap. How much off? 33% off?
33% off. Yeah, it's $40, so it'll be. Oh no, wait, it's $60. Marked down to 40.
Whatever, $40. It's worth it, man. You get the soundboard. It has applause in it. It has fucking the bombs and shit. It has everything in there, man. So it's got the soundboard. It's got even voice effects. You can add echo to your voice and shit like that. It's got independent volumes to your mic, and it has the mic. It's got even the mic stand. This thing here, like this thing here. Obviously, it's a cheaper version. Mine's like a real one there, but
what is Wizard saying bullshit about exactly? What's bullshit? And yeah, do you know any Creed songs?
Creed? No.
By any chance, do you know any Creed songs at all that you can think of?
I could learn some. That's what the special requests are all about, guys. If you guys pay, this is the grift, non-grift. But actually, anyway, it doesn't really matter because you're actually benefiting the channel. Like I said before, all the money that's donated to the channels, all put right back into it. So, right. So, like, let's say you want me to learn a song, you like to hear me play, like, I don't know, or a song from Creed that I don't know, then I'll learn it, right? Because you kind of like paid for it, so I can do that. So that's very loud. I'm going to go fix that. that's like supposed to be right on the money for the sound. I just gotta go check the sound coming from.
Happy 333, son. Mr. OTW 333.
Yeah.
33 likes.
Yeah. Cool. 33. Let me just check out the sound.
Counting numbers. Zachary Hubbard. Goy Matria. Check out this prison, bro. It's lit. I'm in Rikers. Rikers Island. This is Dash. This is Dash. So much Mr. Dash. Something. Stacking, 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 stacking. Mrs. Dashing.
My name is Robert Lucas, and I'm the creator of The Sweet Unpacked on Facebook.
What up?
What the fuck? Okay. Hold on then. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty smexy, bro.
listen back.
Coming at you from the smelly of the smeast.
Yeah, I could have put in a little bit more guitar. See? All right, so it gave me a good idea. So now I know I have to bring up at least a little bit of the guitar. And Sean, so did you order the mic? Did you do that? Did you click add to cart and then paying and now it's on its way?
I added it to cart and it's saved in the tab so that when I have the ability to pay with the card, which I don't at the moment, then and apply Prime, of course. Slave Prime Slave, Amazon Slave
Right.
Prime.
Yeah.
Then I will order it. I'm gonna order that one that was in the top range, $40. It has the most reviews, and I would imagine it should take a few days, but I probably won't be able to order it until at the soonest.
Dude, you should have gotten that long time ago, man. When I sent that the first time to you, that particular ad, that was like the perfect thing. And you see, I'm like still saying it, like almost like I think it's like 6 months later or 7 months later.
You want to watch yourself saying it?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Not really.
Dude, I can't even tell you what's going on. It's just life is weird.
Right.
Life is weird.
It is.
People are strange
totally
when you're
weird.
a stranger. People seem wicked when they're fucking insane.
Totally weird, man. You're like, that's
totally
it.
Weird,
you found the answer. We should end weirdness and awkwardness. That should be your life goal and mission, Snafu. Let's start a guru thing. Instead of ending wars in legal secrets, we'll go with what did I say?
I know you didn't just call me Snafu. I know that was a blunt.
No.
Practically like living in this fucking motherfucker at this point. This lady doesn't even want to like.
Watch it. You might walk into Snafu. Anyway, I got to end this broadcast, man.
All right, I'm going to head to the poll.
Okay, guys. See you on over at Proper Instruction Motivates People. Adios.
Yeah, we
Thanks
could
for watching.
later. We could always jam on a after stream, or what do you call it? Whatever. Just not even, you could set up a private stream type shit, or whatever.
Yeah. All right, bro. Let's get out of here.
Nice cheeks, man. Nice cheeks. But yeah, check out this view. This is actually where I popped out, bro, at this damn hospital. In the courtyard here. Probably $1 billion fucking hospital, dude, honestly. Easily. At least few hundred million dollars. Fucking insane. I got my Moonstock shirt on, bro. My Ozzy. But yeah, anyway. Appreciate you, bro. Good stream.
All right.
From what I thought. Good idea playing that stream from yesterday too. I was actually going to do the same thing because it was a good talk, man. Was that you that I was in the stream with, by the way? I was showing the butterflies everywhere. Like literally, this whole fucking place is filled with Butterfly symbolism, dude. Monarch
Wow.
butterfly symbolism everywhere, every floor. Mind control
Wow.
symbolism everywhere, dude. It's insane.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, fucking gnarly. Literally
Yeah.
every picture, I think every picture is a butterfly. It's amazing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
There was something else too. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was the lotus somewhere, butterfly in front of the lotus, like how Kamala gave the Pope the lotus at the Vatican. Butterfly. It's everything, dude. It's like, come on, nothing else, just butterflies. What is this? No, there's nothing to it though. It's probably just coincidence. Oh, okay, there you go, flowers. 9 out of 10 pictures are fucking butterfly. Is the point. Anyway, Snafu won't. Does he ever walk around the hospital, or does he just stay in his room when he pops on stream? But yeah, dude, Sundowners is a bitch, dude. It's basically a form of dementia where, like, sundown gets way fucking worse. And, literally, like, hallucinations, fucking, delusions grandeur. It's fucking insane, bro. Imagine seeing someone on fire. She literally saw someone lighting someone on fire and said they're burning them up and fucking. Yeah. I need to read for this. Peace and love, brothers.